Before we get into the episode today, I have a few special thank yous to make to our very generous patrons over at patreon.com/grindbin. We've had a couple of you sign up already. We got a lot of stuff coming on the way, like new mini bins, film commentary coming up real soon for a Grindbin Classic, as well as a few more special, maybe even exclusive episodes just for the Patreon subscribers, which starts at $2 a month. And you can get all this and vote on future movies for episodes and all these great perks on there. But I'd like to personally thank a few of these people right now, especially Grindbin All-Star Huey Chambers. Huey is up on our top tier there, and thank you, Huey. You'll always be an honorary Grindbin All-Star, and Huey has joined a tier where he actually gets to pick 2 movies that'll be upcoming episodes on the Grindbin, and he's already sent me one of them, and man, you guys have something to look forward to. I'd like to personally thank our other patrons as well, Joe Don Baker, Shane McCullum, and John Corbin there. They also joined the tier where they get to pick a movie as well, and they've sent them in, and once again, you're going to be real impressed. I mean, these are solid picks, including some big heavy hitters that we've never had in the Grindbin before. Cannot wait to make them Grindbin All-Stars. And how can we forget our good friend Sean Thompson, once again sending us a donation, as well as joining that Patreon. Thank you, Sean at looserounds.com. And Julie Siegler, who's sent us a donation before, and now she's also one of our patrons. Thank you guys very much. So enjoy the rest of the show, and check out the Patreon if you want to get a little bit more Grindbin. We're going to be posting our first mini bin this week. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Hughes.
And I'm Bobby Trippett.
And today we're going to be talking about 1976's Dogs.
Can you give me the definition of pheromones?
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
This book ain't got no real poetry.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl a little hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
You could have looked decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy.
So guys, before we get into it today, why don't we listen to that trailer, the old Dogs trailer.
Woof, woof.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon. Will you be ready?
You asked me to notify you if any more of the cattle were killed. Larry Ludicky just called, and he's had it with these killings.
Well, it's not coyotes.
Wolves, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Starting last month, some cattle were killed. They belong to Larry Ludicky. Now he's been killed.
And you know who did it?
No. And it's not a who, it's a what. I think something is causing domestic dogs to pack and attack people. Don't mind. As the president of this college, you have the responsibility of the lives of everyone here. 2 people have been killed already. One of them a student.
By what? It's terrible, yes, but you have no evidence it was done by dogs.
The hell is that?
What's that noise?
Let's get out of here.
It happened once. It could happen again. It could happen where you live. Will you be ready for Dogs?
Well, that was a great trailer. So,
Bamboozled again.
welcome back to A Hughes Choose, everybody. Hughes, explain yourself. Why did I watch this movie?
You keep on asking me to pick these movies, so I'm just going to start finding weird ones.
Oh.
I watched this one. It was called Dogs. It starts from the POV of a dog, as Bobby pointed out, since I just skipped into the middle of it. And
I love that you picked a film that you had skipped the first 5 minutes of. You're like, this looks good.
Hughes says he watches the 6 minute mark to the 8 minute mark and goes, yeah, this is great.
it was good.
No context. No idea what's going on.
I just see some guy that's completely scared of a German Shepherd that was attacking him. It was making overt aggressive gestures at him.
Was it aggressive overtures? I think is the words they used.
And Hughes, he also, by the way, thought this was a very original idea.
I don't know anything about killer dogs.
Apparently, he's never heard of Cujo.
Or Madhouse, or The Pack, or White Dog, or White God, or Man's Best Friend, or Deadly Eyes, which is actually a killer rat movie, but they're all played by wiener dogs, so we can count it.
Yeah. Man's Best Friend with Lance Hendrickson, by the way.
I think I picked the cream of the crop.
Oh, of course.
You might be off by a letter, but that's all right.
You've also convinced me that I will never, ever watch a movie with a plural, singular animal. Like, I'll never watch a movie
like birds?
Called the birds. Well, it's probably one of the worst Alfred Hitchcock movies.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
hot take.
Sucks.
The Birds is a terrible film.
So we got birds, dogs, ants.
You know,
well, that has a Z, you know.
Slugs is a fun one.
Frogs, I found that one.
How are you into pronouns like them?
Tentacles.
Or It. What's your opinion of It?
Well, it's not... I'll just say
the new
like
one
this.
or the old one?
I'll just say this. I am coming off of seeing the new movie, It, while watching this movie. It was, in my opinion, one of the most aggressively mediocre things I've ever seen in my life, and I was so bored for 2.5 hours. That's fine if everybody enjoys it. I personally did not. We won't get into it.
It's kind of a race to the middle.
But strap in for this episode, dear listeners, because Mike needs a balloon.
Watching this movie... Yeah, watching this movie, I was very upset to begin with, and the state of the movie industry. And then I watch this and I go, you know what? Nothing's changed.
Oh, man.
So let's get into the director of this one, Burt Brickenhoff.
Nailed it. Let's see. Brinkerhoff.
Is this some sort of euphemism? Brinkerhoff. That's the guy's name. 78 directing credits, almost all for TV, which is funny because this feels very much like a TV movie.
Oh, yeah.
He worked as a TV series and a movie director before landing this as his first movie. And then he only made one other movie called 1976 Acapulco Gold, which is apparently about somebody finding drugs on Hawaii or some shit.
That sounds like a Sedaris movie.
Yeah, it was like a guacamole movie.
No, these are just two box office bombs, and they were like, hey, back to TV with you. Where he went and directed tons of TV movies and TV episodes for such fine shows as Alf.
Your favorite.
Remington. I do love Alf. Made by a guy on severe drugs. He just there's a great movie about Alf. It's not a great movie, but it's an aggressively okay movie about the creation of Alf, starring Ben Stiller as the creator of Alf, where he takes a shitload of drugs and comes up with this idea of a Muppet alien that lives with a suburban family. Check it out.
Sounds like The Disaster Artist.
That's another one.
That's sure another movie.
Gotta watch that trailer before it.
Oh, dear.
He also directed episodes of 9 to 5, which I didn't know had a TV series, but apparently was.
Does Dolly appear on that show?
I was going to say, was Dolly Parton a part of it?
That's an okay movie, though.
Suddenly Chris and I are like, hey, is Dolly in that one? We love Dolly.
Recently, I saw the drag show 5 to 9.
Fantastic.
I'm not joking.
I believe you.
You know, believe it or not, I'm actually a fan of Dolly Parton. I actually think some of her movies are okay.
No, she's great.
They're not that bad.
No, I can't think of a terrible one.
You know what's a really funny one is Straight Talk, where she's like a sassy talking country radio show host who moves to the big city and James Woods is her boss.
You know where I went to college? I went to Screw You.
Yeah, I like the Dolly Parton movie where she's a sassy southerner.
Yeah, it's great. But
she's some country gal with a lot of things to say.
Put her on the radio like a Dr. Laura, and it all of a sudden becomes a mildly entertaining movie that I watched one Saturday afternoon. I was like, you know. He also directed episodes of Remington Steele, Matlock, Growing Pains, which I do love that show, actually. Beverly Hills 90210, which I don't love that show. And then he ended his career Directing and producing, he directed 27 episodes of this show and produced 85 episodes of this show, Seventh Heaven.
Oh
dear.
Which I love that show in terms of schlock. It's about the worst shit you could ever see, and it's fucking hilarious.
Didn't the minister from that show like fuck a little kid?
Yeah, he did some bad things.
He's a classy guy, just like Stephen King.
Just like Bill Cosby.
A lot of
like,
child rape and everything.
The TV dads that just were shit. You know who came out on top?
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill.
Damn right.
Oh, how dare you not mention Carl Winslow?
Oh, that's true.
Reginald VelJohnson and Ed O'Neill. Those are the two.
Come on, man.
We should put them on our curds here.
Like,
to
trust
remind
me,
us of what a good dad is.
if you want to see some classic, hilarious television, Seventh Heaven. I
Oh.
mean, that show, I remember watching an episode where, like, they were waiting forever to sit at a diner, and they, like, wouldn't get a table, and then it was because their friends were black, and the manager wouldn't seat them, and he was
Wow.
like, look at that sign. It says we reserve the right.
Jesus, I remember the marijuana
I was
episode.
like, how is this real life? Seventh Heaven ended with one of the sons killing a man and then running away from the law.
Wow.
So that show really is, it really went deep. But there is if you want to see a classic episode, maybe even a potential mini bin, is when the older son gets caught smoking the reefer one day.
That's a great one.
Oh my God,
classic.
is that amazing?
The now classic Devil's Lettuce episode of Seventh Heaven.
All right, I'll get straight to the point. I found marijuana in the house. And while I never thought of myself as the type of father who'd have to drug test his kids, I'm willing to do just that if that's what it takes to find out who brought a joint into this house.
Dad, Lucy found something too.
Dad, I found a joint in Mom's dresser drawer. I was just looking for a scarf because I needed something else to go with my outfit. I didn't think you'd mind. But then I stumbled on the joint. Mary and I didn't know what to think. I mean, it's really none of our business if you and Dad want to.
Don't finish that sentence. I assume that you're referring to this. This joint. Same joint I found by the front door. Same joint your mother then put into her dresser drawer.
Oops.
Oh, what a relief. I mean, it's not like we thought that Mom was a stoner or anything, but...
Wait a minute. Then whose joint is it?
It's mine.
You've got to be kidding.
Look, Simon.
Man, I can't believe you.
Simon, wait.
Girls, you're going up to your rooms. We need to talk to Matt. What the hell do you think you're trying to pull?
Eric, calm down.
Oh, I think I've been about as calm as I can be throughout this. Now it's time for some answers. It's not enough that you're smoking dope. You have to bring it into our house. What if one of the younger kids had found this first?
But I didn't think that...
That's exactly right. You didn't think, because if you thought about anyone but yourself for a second, it might have occurred to you that the look that you just saw on Simon's face is the look of a kid who's just lost all respect for his older brother.
Eric.
Is this why you've never held down a job? Oh, because, hey, here's something that doesn't take a whole lot of skill to do, just a lighter and a complete lack of self-respect.
It's not why...
I'm not finished. Just let me know one thing. Please tell me. It'll help me sleep better. Tell me that you wanted to get caught. Because you couldn't possibly think that we'd be so stupid that we wouldn't find out. Or better yet, please explain to us how anyone could be so stupid as to do drugs in the first place.
I don't know, Dad. Why don't you ask Mom? Maybe she can explain it to you.
Don't you dare bring your mother into this. Apologize right now! You're not going anywhere.
I'm not staying here.
Don't you dare walk out that door!
Trust me, just fire up any episode. It's going to have some horrible Christian overtone. It's just a wonderful show.
Welcome back to the Seventh Heaven podcast.
I'll do it.
We're going episode
I'll
by
do it.
episode.
Goddamn, I'll do it. The writer of this movie, O'Brien Tomlin. O'Brien.
He
is his
starts with
first name.
O'Brien.
Yeah. He only has 2 writing credits, and they happen to be both the movies this man directed.
Because the rest of his writing credits are probably under his real name.
No, he has no other credits other than he was Mr. Robbins' personal assistant on the Hudsucker Proxy, and he was a driver for the crew on Bull Durham.
Hey.
Oh.
So
he's somewhat attached to a very good movie.
Yeah, do you think at one point...
Hudsucker Proxy?
Okay,
love
2 very
Hudsucker
good
Proxy.
movies. I love Bull Durham. That's what I was referencing.
Do you think when he was driving Kevin Costner to set one day, he's like, you know, I wrote a movie one day about a bunch of killer dogs, Mr. Costner.
Costner's like, were they wolves?
He looked forlorn into the distance and said, "Yeah, I've been to the show."
Well, Kevin Costner famously thought, he goes, dogs, eh? And then he just thought, dogs all day. And then it transformed into wolves. And then he goes, yeah, that sounds like a good idea for a movie. And that's when O'Brien told everybody, he's like, I gave him the inspiration for Dances with Wolves. That was me. After I told him about dogs. Gave him a VHS in the car. Nice guy, Mr. Costner. So then we get into the cast. I would say heavy hitters, believe it or not. Because most of the people in this movie have gone on to do much more. David McCallum, who plays Harlan Thompson, or as I just called Jean Jacket in my notes.
Canadian cowboy.
134 acting credits. A Scottish-born actor, started acting in 1953 at the age of 20, which means he was almost 40 by the time he made this movie, which couldn't tell. He apparently, he appeared in a bunch of UK and USA TV, as well as lots of small but prominent roles in B-movies, as well as some big ones as well. He played a character, Dispersal, in 1963's The Great Escape. He is very well known, though, for his role starring next to Robert Vaughn in the Man from U.N.C.L.E. TV series. He was in every episode of that. And he's in every episode of NCIS as the character of Donald Mallard.
The doctor.
I'll be sure to ask my grandparents about it.
Yeah, Hughes, he could do the NCIS podcast. He's seen every episode.
That show has so many good things. It has sabotage, it has spies, Russians, Israelis.
I don't know the difference between NCIS or CSI or any of those, really.
Oh, there's one's in Las Vegas and one's in Vermont.
Wait, Dave, I'm sorry.
CSI is in Las Vegas.
Is there another NCIS, too? There's
NCIS LA.
What does it stand for?
With Chris O'Donnell. The Navy Central something Intelligence. I don't know.
God. So it's who cares?
It's the Navy's investigation crew. I'll look it up.
Oh, the Navy Department. Sandra McCabe, who plays Caroline Donahue, or as I just write down, Lady Friend, because I didn't know she actually had a character name. Everybody in this movie has a first and last name. This is a real B-Girls scenario in this movie, where to the point where we're going to say, like, did you know what happened to Bill so-and-so? And I'm like, well, I fucking don't, because I don't know who that is. You've said his name 100 times, and I still don't know who the fuck that is. So I wrote that this lady is Lady Friend, because she's the lady friend to our main character.
I think her name's Carolyn.
Yes, it is. Wow. How observant. You've infamously watched this movie at normal speed, Hughes, and for you, that's an accomplishment, because on YouTube, you're usually at the old 1.5 speed.
Oh, sometimes two.
You have the real, the yakety sax approach of watching everything like a Benny Hill chase.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you with some of these movies.
Well, I can't even tell if they're ADS or not, or ADR.
If they're NCIS or not.
Yeah. She's from San Diego. She has 10 credits on IMDb. This was her first ever credited role. Then she went on.
You can't tell.
No. 1979, she was in a movie called The Rose, which I've never heard of, but apparently is about some female rock star going through some sort of drug issue. But I've never heard of this movie, 1981 Honky Tonk Freeway, where she played the character of prostitute from... Okay, so I read the description. Apparently it's about some town in Florida that has a safari park, and then the government's going to build a highway, but they won't build an exit to that town. And boy, does that sound like riveting entertainment.
Well, you got to understand, the Honky Tonk Man shows up, does a little dance for him, wrestles a match.
He's played by Beau Bridges, who's in that movie.
Honestly, for the time period, that's probably who I'd cast to play the 80s WWF wrestler Honky Tonk Man.
Beau Bridges opposite Beverly D'Angelo. So.
That's a very weird sounding movie, though, because usually the conflict is going to be they're going to try and put a freeway through the town, not they're putting a freeway next to the town. They don't want to fucking acknowledge you.
Yeah, and the poster of it is a cartoon rhino running through a freeway sign.
Perfect.
So stay tuned, everybody. Her last role was in 1988. It was an appearance as a sales lady on Who's the Boss? So I'm sure she got sassed by, what's his name?
Tony Danza.
Tony Danza, yeah.
I was going to say Scott Baio.
He told her who the boss was. And then she recently
he was in charge. He wasn't the boss.
Oh, that's right, Charles.
Come on now. He's in charge.
The fucking same TV show.
Yeah, it's the same.
Same TV show, same guy, really. I mean,
more or less. Just they tried. Only Who's the Boss didn't have Bible Man in the cast. Willie Ames is the best.
Oh, he'll be in one soon. So she recently appeared in a short film, though, in 2017. The character of Michael Fitzgerald is played by George Weiner, who is a prolific character actor. He has 188 credits, including some very big movies, and ones you're familiar with that you may have not noticed him in, because he's a He's a real chameleon. His first major role was in 1971 on The Odd Couple TV show. Then he went on to appear in movies and TV regularly through the 70s. Dogs was one of his first roles that he had a character name, other than just Man at Party. Or something like that.
I gotta tell you, in 1976, in this movie specifically, he's got that Goldblum swag.
Right?
He was in
You're like, hey.
He's in like 5 movies in 1976. And you know what I started writing him down as in my notes was Better Deason. I was like, this is the guy that should have been decent. He worked as a character actor steadily for decades in both TV and movies. Here's some of his credits. 1987, he was in Spaceballs as Colonel Sanders.
He is Colonel Sanders.
Yes.
That's
He's
right.
a chameleon. 1997, he was in The Devil's Advocate. As the character of Meisel. 2001, he was in American Pie 2. I've not seen that, but who gives a fuck? And then in 2009, he was in the Coen Brothers movie A Serious Man, which is a great movie, unlike the one we're talking about today. And he played the rabbi in that movie. Love that movie. He's still working and recently appeared on Big Bang Theory and the TV show Shameless, so he's still out there, still Colonel Sanders-ing it up.
Shameless is good. If you haven't watched it, yeah.
Yeah, he was in an episode. Lance Hool, who plays Robbie Pulowski. Now, you've never heard that character. You don't know who the fuck it is, but it doesn't matter.
I'm trying to place who the hell Robbie Pulowski
because he's
was.
a Grindbin all-star.
Yeah, that was the old... The football player that asked the question about pheromones. The definition of pheromones.
Yeah, that's right.
He looked about 60.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
that was the first thing I noticed. Was like, how is this guy even still in college, much less...
The only reason I mention him, Grindbin all-star.
Fantastic.
He doesn't have an acting career. He is a producer, including 1983, he produced 10 to Midnight.
Yes.
1984, he was the executive producer on The Evil That Men Do.
Nice.
Wow.
1984, Missing in Action, Chuck Norris. 1994, The Road Killers, which is a movie starring Christopher Lambert and Craig Sheffer.
I am so in with that cast.
Grindbin all-star Craig Sheffer. Yeah, I'm ready for that one. And by the way, their top build, and look at the rest of the cast, is like they're all top build now.
Oh,
like
really?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in that movie. Like
Wow.
all sorts of like people that are starring in movies were starring below Christopher Lambert and Craig Sheffer in 1994.
He was coming off that Angels in the Outfield movie.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt had an interesting little pocket where he was just popping up in things, but nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, when he was
like in
wearing
Halloween
that fucking
H2O,
hat all
and he
the
got an
time.
ice skate to the face.
Well, that was pleasant to see.
Then he did the Jerk Off movie, and then he's just been taking off from there.
I went.
You
I
didn't
saw
see that movie?
I know which one
Don
you're talking
John?
about. Don
He directed
John.
that movie.
He was starred in that movie.
He was pretty good.
Yeah,
in
he
it.
directed it, too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I took a date to that movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? How'd
So-
that end?
The same way he did in the movie.
Hey,
Zing!
In your $3 million apartment behind your bed?
Yes.
So you're also going to love this. This is where we get into the real Hughes portion of his filmography. He directed 1996's Flipper.
Nice.
1997, McHale's Navy.
Perfect.
2001, he was the producer on Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles.
I think you and I watched that movie.
Oh, I saw that in the theater with a date.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
Shared a popcorn.
Because I think I've only seen it once.
The only good part in that whole movie is when he stabs the snake with a knife and he's like, oh, I thought it was real.
I appreciated McHale's Navy because they gave like David Alan Grier something to do.
Just anything that keeps him busy.
Just anything where it's not in living color.
I think he's funny as hell, but he does not get enough
What about
work.
Blank Man? He was in that movie.
I know, but he doesn't get enough work now. Like he's still he's a road comic now, and he's not getting enough work outside of
Just
that.
wait for Grindbin the movie. We'll get him in something.
Absolutely.
He'll be interested.
He'll get killed by the tentacle. 2004, he produced. It was executive producer on Club Dread.
Oh God,
which is a dreadful movie.
I heard that. That's the one I haven't seen by those
dreadful.
guys.
You don't need to see it.
Dreadful.
I figured as much.
And then 2004, he was the executive producer on Man on Fire.
Now that's
really
good.
There you go. Yes, but I looked
Have either of
at
you guys
that.
seen the original of that?
No, I've only seen the one with
No, I've
Denzel.
never seen.
Okay, I haven't either. It was one of those that I heard there was an original. I wasn't aware of that prior.
Isn't it interesting that the guy who produced 10 to Midnight and Evil That Men Do would basically make that type of movie almost 20 years later? Because it is a very similar... That's like... It's basically Charles Bronson with Denzel Washington.
No question. These days, Denzel does all the Charles Bronson roles. If you look at his output since Training
Maybe
Day,
they should have
he
put
became Charles Bronson.
Maybe they should have put him in the fucking shitty Death Wish remake that they're doing.
You want to talk about trailers we saw before it? That's,
yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, I'm going to turn into you if we talk about the Death Wish trailer. We're both going to be angry, and Chris is going to be sitting here like, why are Dad and Dad fighting?
I don't even want to get into it.
My Two Dads. That was a good show.
That was a good show. That's
He's still working now. He's currently producing a film called All My Tomorrows that has very little information about it, but...
That's a terrible name of
well,
anything.
it's kind of loosely based on All My Children, but Tom Cruise keeps dying.
I love it. So the last credit I have is Linda Gray. Now, you're not going to know her. She plays Mrs.
Because we're not going to tell you anything. Anyway, let's get this movie started.
Miss Engel. The only reason I mention it, because it's very important that we mention her, is that she is most well known for her role as Sue Ellen Ewing on Dallas. She only has 5 minutes of screen time in this movie, but it will come into play with the trivia here, because this movie bombed.
What?
Hard.
No.
Hard at the box office. And it actually
It laid
ruined...
heavy, but didn't go deep?
It actually ruined the planned sequel, Cats. They were going to make a Cats movie.
Oh. Yeah, I know.
But this just bombed so fucking hard that they were like, let's just forget it. Go direct Alf, guy.
And that's such a bummer, Mike, because I think you would have come around on Cats. I know you're more of a cat guy.
Well, I am more of a cat guy. So
maybe that's the
I
problem.
think that's the problem. He's like, fucking biased against
I think you would have
dogs.
liked Cats.
Maybe. So, well, we'll get into it. So, 1976, this movie got its theatrical run. It wasn't released on VHS until 1988, and the only reason it was released on VHS is because of Linda Gray.
Of Dallas.
And they put her second billing on the VHS tape, and they changed the name of the movie to Slaughter.
I love when that happens. There's an Australian movie called Chain Reaction, and the DVD I have is like screaming at you that Mel Gibson in Chain Reaction. He plays like a grease monkey in an auto repair place. He's literally in like 30 seconds of the film.
Like, what? Need your car fixed,
he slides out from under a car and goes, what? and then we move on. Just like,
in the DVD, did they just freeze frame on it for a little bit? Like, huh, it's him.
Circle it.
Yeah.
In 2006, this movie was released on DVD, and it included a 16-minute documentary about the film with interviews with the director and some actors, and I just write, why? It has a Blu-ray. So we get into the movie, guys.
Oh. For you.
No.
Christmas is canceled this year. What was that?
Look at him. He's distraught about owning this movie.
Dude is at the end of his rope right now.
Oh, God, I love this movie. So it starts on a POV of a man petting a camera.
And you know what? Yeah, we got a man making kissy faces right at the screen and saying, nice dog, good dog. And I've watched a lot of these videos. I know exactly where this is going.
And where's that?
That was the joke, Mike. Just edit that out.
Oh, you got one of my jokes. I like that.
I'm sorry,
I was
Bobby.
making a weird porn joke, Mike.
Wait, there's a POV camera. There's POV porn where a man just fucks the camera.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know. He's the one who brought it up.
I thought maybe you'd know.
I'll take this one, Hughes. Yes, Mike, there is.
You're telling me there's pornography where a man puts down his pants and just starts shoving his dick at the lens?
Is it 3D?
There is.
Talk about breaking the fourth wall.
All right, let's get into it, fellas. There is reverse POV pornography where it's from the lady's perspective, so it's pretty much just a dude fucking at the camera.
Well,
the more you know.
Yeah.
I did not know that existed. So yeah, there you go.
They put a camera in the fleshlight.
Does it usually? Yeah. Does it? Yeah, a little GoPro. Does it? So then we just kind of we float around this party. They should have made this movie like a found footage, but from the POV of a dog the whole time. That would have been great.
That would have been cool.
So we float around this party for a while.
It feels like a Bell Bottoms commercial. It's just low angles on everybody's jeans.
There's every single person at this party I don't want to get to know. You know what I mean? I just see them all and I'm like, fucking assholes. Every single one of them. And then they all are. So we get to somebody, is it Jean Jacket that lets the dog out of the party?
No, it's a different guy.
And I was fucking pissed about this. So there's a fucking dog walking around a party and a guy goes, oh, you want to go outside? And he fucking lets the dog out of the yard.
He goes, I'll let you out. And
that's the theme of this whole movie, though. Everybody lets their dog to pee and poop out the front door. Just, come back
in the
when
backyard.
You want. No, it's got to go in the front, apparently. Every dog in this movie goes into the front yard. It's the only way for them to escape, apparently.
Because in real life, we'll get to how the premise of this movie works, but it wouldn't have mattered because all these dogs would be in the house or in the backyard, and they wouldn't be running together.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The dogs just appear when they appear. They appear anywhere.
They're zombies.
In fact, they'll even appear at the second story of a house. They just do.
Can we just run through this movie for that part?
Okay. So then we get this. The only good part about this movie is the title, which comes up dogs, and then there's some blood on it.
Yeah, the font bleeds, and it's just a lot of slow-mo of dogs running in the street. It's like a Mighty Dog commercial.
Yeah, but there'll be a scene of a single dog, and then it'll cut to something, then two dogs, then it'll cut to something, then three dogs, and they're just gathering the gang as they're running down the street.
It's like a Coolio video.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And you all find out that they were following that gravy train. It was all going to... Okay, so then more dogs join. Then we go to Ira. Is this another pool party?
This is another pool party, I think.
Where am I?
Pool parties were big back in '76.
I mean, I go right. I'm not sure if this is the same one or just another group of rich assholes. But then some guy walks up to a guy in jean jackets. This is where we get our first introduction to our wonderful protagonist, everybody, Jean Jacket.
Oh man, Harlan
Williams.
And I was confused when we met him because I was thinking this is either a little boy dressed like a grown-up or a grown-up dressed like a little boy. Because this dude's got hair like Prince Adam from He-Man, and he's wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
Get the bowl. Give him a haircut.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. Like, this guy could be 12 years old. He could be 45.
Okay, so he walks up to this guy in the jean jacket. Yeah, okay, so some rich guy who we'll later learn is the president. The president of what? Maybe the whole country? I don't know, because apparently he's just the president of everything.
Yeah.
He walks up and just puts his hand on Jean Jacket's shoulder, and he says, "With Michael Fitzgerald on your staff, I'd say that Southwestern is now among the top 2 or 3 college research centers in biology. Wouldn't you agree, Harlan?"
And you know what? Slide on into that dialogue, because that's the kind of shit we're dealing with for this entire movie.
Yep. My first note is, can I have some fucking context?
Well, Michael's the new smart guy, I thought, and he was being introduced to that group.
Yeah. But guess what? At this point, we don't know who that is.
No.
They just start talking about this guy, and we learn that, like, Jean Jacket doesn't like him. By the way, that'll never come into play.
Well, they didn't like him because, like, the English, this lady that we have introduced was, like, into him. They gave him, like, a hero shot.
But by the way, that'll
that never
fizzle
happens.
into nothing.
Well, look at the man.
Like, the rest of this movie, we'll just throw shit out there, and it will just dissipate into the ether that is dogs.
But they will bring it back a couple of times, like, oh, maybe we're going to get more out of it. No, just doesn't come back.
No.
It's just something they talk about.
So then, you know what, though? Thankfully, Michael comes out, right? And then, like, him and Jean Jacket's just being a real dick to him for really no reason.
That's most of this movie, Jean Jacket just being an asshole.
Yeah, can't wait to get to him. So we have, basically everybody's a college professor. They all work at Southwestern University. Where that's located, I guess California. And the only reason I know that is because at the end of the movie, there's a voiceover from a radio show host saying something about California.
Yeah, Southwestern being San Diego.
I thought it was like maybe Arizona or something. It looked like the desert to me, but I didn't know where the fuck we were. The lights go out, okay? Just all of a sudden the lights go out this party.
Sure.
And then somebody says, "Oh, here we go again." And then some guy says something about a linear accelerator, and I just read at this point, what the fuck are we talking about? I don't know. I don't know you people. I don't know.
Like, Mike is reacting like he woke up at this party.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? Who are you people?
Is this a movie about killer dogs, or is this a movie about college professors complaining about who has a bigger penis?
This is about scaring us about the Hadron Collider.
You got it.
Yeah, but guess what? Just throw it out there.
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
Nope, doesn't
This is
matter.
the lamest, whitest party I've ever seen.
But the lights go out,
college is
so
all
it
white,
makes
too.
it apparently interesting for a second.
Sure.
And then you know what? We'll just have it happen one more time in the movie where the lights go off, and they'll be like, that damn hydrogen linear accelerator thing. You know that science, guys? Huh?
That damn science.
This next scene is what sold me on the movie. I didn't have to watch the rest of the movie. I'm like,
because this is where you started.
This is exactly where I started.
This is where you hit play on the video.
Yeah, don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
No, I didn't miss a damn thing. I missed the introduction.
Pretty much, if you're going to watch this movie, start at minute 50, okay? Because that's when it picks up and something happens.
You are so angry, Mike.
Oh, well, you'll see what we deal with until minute 50.
You'll float too.
So tell me,
one of the
what was the hook for you?
Yeah, the hook for one of the unnamed professors is talking about his class that day and how there was a scene, iDog in there.
Oh, that was, quote, more frightening than my first marriage?
Yes.
Dr. Aintree, Melanie was telling me about an incident involving you and a dog.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about that by now.
No, Charlie, tell us.
Well, it was quite simply the most frightening experience I've had since my first marriage.
Where he was giving a lecture, and then this dog just started, like, barking at him, and then started being aggressive with him, and started attacking him, and making...
hostile overtures.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this enormous German Shepherd leapt up on the podium and began making hostile overtures.
They all laugh at him. And I would too. It's a seeing eye dog. Like, they're trained, you know? Tell it to sit. But apparently it went crazy? No, it didn't.
No.
He said, like, some guy came in and then it was no big deal.
Well, for a therapy dog, that is going crazy.
Yeah, they put it down. That's how you get rid of a dog, by the way. You just put it down. It's very simple.
Seriously.
If the dog is crazy, You put it down, right?
We're going to get emails.
Cujo's foaming at the mouth. Shoot the fucking thing.
That's Mike at grindhousefilm.com.
So Jean Jacket he's making more friends, you know. Isn't
he pissing off this lady?
He just fucking pisses everybody off. He pisses me off. He pisses the cast off. He pisses the students off. Like his lady friend doesn't even like him.
No.
She can't fucking stand him.
Well, my understanding is that they're a couple that has broken up.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. They've dated
they
at one
established
point.
that they're not together anymore, and that's why there's a little bit of tension between the two of them. But they're talking, like with the potential that maybe they'll work things out, but they got a lot of shit to iron out first, and that's
why they spend the rest of the movie together.
Yes.
Well, you know, shit hit the fan, and you go to someone that you know and that you trust.
Yeah,
and that
then we just pretend like we never got out of that relationship.
Well, at the end of the day, Mike, this movie's about love.
Yeah. Oh,
love and companionship.
That's right.
At the end of the day, this movie,
love and companionship,
was a movie that said "get a cat." That's how this movie.
That's not how this movie ends.
That's how Mike saw it. Mike stood up and went, "Damn right."
So I wrote, it definitely seems like a case of tenure. Like Jean Jacket just got that tenure. He's like, great, I can just not give a fuck. I'm going to start wearing my Jean Jacket denim clothes to school every fucking day. I will never change my outfit, even though this movie takes place over the course of many days. I will drink heavily. I just don't give a fuck about anybody else, and I'm just going to be a regular asshole.
Ladies and gentlemen, your protagonist.
Yeah, and let's see if he changes. So Jean Jacket and the lady, right, then they have some conversation. Okay, as you tell me, I guess they used to be a couple. As I write, they're having a conversation about something we would know if we knew who the fuck these characters were, but we don't. And he asks her about if she's moving out, and I write, who cares? Because now a guy with a cowboy hat comes up and he goes, he's like, hey, Jean Jacket, remember how you told me to get you if there was any one of them killings? And I just write, a killing, huh? Well, I don't know. I really don't know anything at this point. But something's happening. Then we go to a truck, and so like Jean Jacket and the cowboy hat, they're riding around in this truck, right? And they just go look at a dead animal on the highway. And Jean Jacket's like, hey, what killed it? Not a coyote, not a wolf.
Actually, it had many bite marks, some small, some big. It was many different animals.
And I write, it's okay. We're the audience. We know it's a dog. Because that's the title of the movie.
Don't worry. We're not going to find out it's actually a dog for another, 15 minutes.
No, another 50. So then we go to day, and we see a long shot of a car driving and a complete conversation.
They're on a dirt road, right? They're just driving on a dirt road having dialogue, some shit, and then they end up at the college. I have no idea what that dialogue in that car was about.
Nope, doesn't make sense.
None of us
They're
have it.
literally talking about nothing. But it was like the producer's like, you know what? We need something in the movie to kind of like what you've delivered to me is a 5-minute scene of somebody driving. At the same time, we can't cut it because the movie is exactly 90 minutes. So
because I think a part of that dialogue was like, there's the linear accelerator over there.
Yeah.
And then they pull, like they're in this dirt road, middle of nowhere, and you see like industry behind them, and they pull onto a full complete parking lot.
Yeah.
In a building. And you're like, what? There's no road to this place? You just built a college in the
major
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was in like Arizona or something.
They're parking like they're going to a Ren fair.
You know, one time I got free tickets to go to a Ted Nugent concert.
Oh, man.
When I was in high school. And you know what? It was in the same parking lot as a Ren fair. So you had bikers and Ren fair people in the same parking lot. And that was the weirdest. That was like the two shall never meet, you know? Very odd.
That reminds me of
say about that.
Yeah, going to a League of Legends tournament at the Staples Center while a Laker game was coming in. So one was at Nokia Theater, one was at the Staples Center. You watch these two different groups pass each other and like sit next to each other at the restaurants. Hilarious.
That sort of thing happens every year at the Long Beach Comic-Con because it's always being held on like a different level than another event that's happening. Like one year there was a tea expo. It's just people showing up like, oh, I like tea. I'm going to try and network with other people who make tea. And there goes Poison Ivy. Wow. Is that Deadpool? I heard of Deadpool.
Well, in the case of this movie, I imagine myself just overhearing the producer speak with young O'Brien on his first script. And he goes, let me tell you something, O'Brien. You don't need to have explanations for why things happen, but if you put stuff in that makes you sound like a smart guy, then the audience will get so confused they don't care anymore. So just make your characters like open the dictionary, pick out the biggest words you can find, put them in that script, and the audience will never know the difference because they're like, this guy he knows more than me, so I think he knows what he's talking about, you know.
But I assume you're talking about this next line of, I may be a theoretical science, but I'm nothing until I prove myself.
That's wonderful. You know, because everybody's favorite character in Jaws was Richard Dreyfuss. You know how he was a smart guy? That's all I remember about that movie, that there was an asshole, a cop, and a fisherman. Just put some dogs in it. It's like the same movie, you know? So then we go to a classroom.
Yes! The classroom. This is
this is when I first wrote, fuck you, Hughes. Describe to me what happens. What do we walk in on?
We're studying ants, aren't we?
Yeah, we've enrolled in a biology class, and we're going to learn about ants today.
Yeah, and guess
what?
In
real time.
Yeah, all 15 minutes.
We're going to sit here, and we're going to talk about ants. And this is actually important to the plot. It's just handled in such a boring, dull
Is it important to the
It's
plot?
not important to the plot.
Well, it's explaining why this is happening.
No, it doesn't explain that.
Nope.
Because they disproved that whole theory later on.
Bobby, none of it.
No, this has nothing to do with it. This is why I love this.
It has nothing to do with anything.
I'm feeling very attacked right now.
Literally has nothing to do with anything. And I'll tell you, at the end of this movie, they decided to add a line in there that literally makes nothing that ever happened in this movie. Anything they ever tried to explain or anything like that make literally zero sense.
All right.
So we have the study in ants, and he's giving a lecture. You know, I've paid my $107 a unit to sit in this course. And this 40-year-old virgin in there that looks kind of like the jock, but looks kind of like a Midwest preacher. I don't know how to describe him.
Got love and hate tattooed on his knuckles.
Asks what pheromones are. Literally, what's the definition of pheromones?
This is what I write.
How did he get into this college?
Hughes, this is what I wrote in my notes. Oh my fucking God. A guy just asked for the fucking definition of pheromones, and we hear the whole thing explained. And then a guy actually asked for a goddamn repeat of the definition. He goes, can you repeat that? And I was about to turn it off if he started again. I was like,
thank God
that was the comic relief. Well, that was the comic relief.
That was the one joke in this movie.
Guy.
But it didn't come off as comic.
No.
He just goes, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Like as a serious line, and then nobody laughs. He just goes, no.
The olfactory stimuli that sets the ants off building collectively, pheromones.
Sir?
Yes.
Would you give us a definition for pheromones, please?
Yes. A specific chemical substance produced by an organism which, when released externally, causes a change in behavior of another organism of the same species.
Could you repeat that again, please?
No, you'll have to get that from someone else after class. Now, the ants, gathered in sufficient numbers, seem to be capable of acting with a singularity of purpose and intelligence.
Then there's literally 3 more minutes of pheromone talk, and at one point, Jean Jacket comes into the class, grabs something, and just leaves the scene as the class continues, and he didn't say a word. So he just, literally, it's like he was going to the craft service table, he picked something up, just left, and then it was like, It
was a different time in the 70s. People could just walk in and out of college classrooms mid-lecture and
just like the
and
audience.
Take stuff from the classroom.
Hey, and you know how this scene ends?
A hard cut.
Yeah, just ends.
Hard
like in the
cut.
middle of a sentence, pretty much. He's like, and I wrote at this point, Mr. Crown would not know what the fuck is going on, but he would be like, well, as long as somebody gets chewed up by minute 20, I think we'll be okay. Like, as long as you can fill 90 minutes.
Yeah, beat.
I write, then, we don't need this. Movies do this all the time. Just let it happen. We don't need a scientific explanation of why something will happen. It's stupid, and nobody's listening. This is a fucking movie about killer dogs. Have them kill somebody.
No, we have to explain first. We have to get the whole group in that they figure out that it's dogs that are doing it. Has nothing to do with anything else. So this is where they cut to that calf that was killed, and he's trying to determine, like, oh, this calf wasn't eaten, it was just killed for fun. And then that's when they bring the body back and do the whole
Okay, let me ask you a
experimenting.
question with this scientific explanation. Why does Jaws attack?
I don't know.
Yeah, because you don't need to fucking know. He's there. You deal with the fucking problem.
See,
everything is around it.
That's why I prefer Orca. I want an explanation. I want to know that this killer whale is attacking people out of revenge.
Okay, that is at least something. Because pheromone talk about ants and all this shit, it'll go nowhere.
No.
Talk about some sort of government conspiracy experiment, it goes nowhere. but we're going to put it in there like it matters. Just have the fucking dogs go crazy.
I like that you and I approached this film with very different demeanors. I was just like, yeah, pheromones. All right. Hive minds. Fuck yeah. Let's do this.
I'm like, just don't waste my goddamn time. I just sat for 5 minutes in a college classroom in a scene that literally makes no sense. Nobody was introduced as a character. No plot was revealed. Nothing happened. 5 minutes of a man talking about fucking ants.
Nothing happened. You received the definition of pheromones.
And you
I didn't listen.
You saw this class that was like 100% white. There was only white people in this classroom.
You got to sit in on a whites-only biology class from 1976, and you're pissed about this?
It looked like a throwback to the Breakfast Club before, though. Like, these are the Breakfast Club's parents.
There's that prequel movie we need.
Yeah, that's when we go to a field at night, and I can't see shit as a cowboy hat man is
so
attacked
dark.
by a dog. Thank God.
Did you like... Okay, so during that scene, before the rancher gets attacked, they keep on panning up to the hill, and you can just see silhouettes of the dogs.
That's kind of cool.
I liked that a lot. It was hilarious.
I couldn't make
me.
it out in my copy. It just was black.
He was watching it in the neighbor's house from outside.
Yeah.
And just pouting on the glass. Like, damn it!
So then we go to a bar. Oh boy, do I love this. We get some college kids being crazy and singing fucking camp songs.
Yeah.
Like they're singing, like they have like a acoustic guitar.
They brought themselves.
Yeah, and they're singing like, you know, any sort of camp song you remember as a
this
kid.
is the North Star CITs from Meatballs.
And then the portly one is kicked out of a chair, and he asks the girl, "Can I sit in your lap?" And she's like, "What do you think?" And that just means no, because he's a fatty fat pants.
Loose screws, break it away.
This character, by the way, just forget about him now, okay? But an hour from now, he's going to show up and be a crucial character to the plot because he's a fatty fat pants. And any movie with a man who is a little bit overweight, you know, he can't deal with that lust.
It's like Shelley in Friday the 13th Part 3. You don't think he's going to be important, but he's the one who gave Jason his mask.
Yeah, he's the key to
turns
everything.
out he means everything
I
to
think
this.
he's the key to everything.
So this is that part in the bar where the old jock, Robbie, is talking about giant ants or something.
Oh, there's a great line that happens in this because someone brings up the idea. They ask whether giant insects would be possible, and we get the best line.
I don't think they even ask.
No, I don't.
They don't ask Bobby. He's just talking about. He's like, yeah, and it was cool. There was this big ant and everything. And then fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson shows up. He's got to ruin his night.
And this is the line he says. He says, "Giant insects are just a product of an ignorant screenwriter who never took biology." I beg your pardon.
Do you know
Brian.
why? Do you know why? What are their skeletons made of? What are
shellac?
Yo, don't go into what Jean Jacket says.
He goes in. He goes. They're exoskeletons, and their mass can only get so large because of tensile strength of their tendons.
Shut up, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Shut up.
I love that this movie just went completely technical. I don't know why it did it.
And that this movie dares to talk shit about scientific accuracy.
I said, don't ruin a killer dog movie with your goddamn science nobody cares about. Shut the fuck up and throw your darts.
Your movie that's talking about pheromones making dogs turn into a hive mind is wagging your dick at giant insects movies.
I even wrote in my notes, get a haircut. At this point.
God damn. Were you watering your front lawn while you watched this?
So at this point, we find out that that Jean Jacket is the Google engineer because he goes to the crux of his argument and he goes, "Why can't males and females get along? It's because of intelligence and some other bullshit."
Boy.
And you're like, "What?"
And somebody is like, "Yeah, it's tenure, man."
Yeah.
There's like the college president goes, "My hands are tied." You get that? I can't touch them.
But it's like this women in STEM arguments going on in the 1970s.
Oh, God. And, his date's real happy about all this.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, can we just have, like, a fucking nice night for once?
Just one time?
And then Jean Jacket asks another... Okay, so, like, he starts fucking asking the student all these questions and everything, and his date, the lady friend, actually leans over to him. She goes, "Who cares?" Who cares?
Well, she's an English teacher. She doesn't really have to know anything.
Yeah, when I just write, yeah, who cares? Hughes is just laughing his ass off at his joke.
Because Bobby was so freaking offended by it.
I laughed.
So he goes on another dumb rant. Everybody wishes he would just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I didn't even write that one down.
And then, thank God, Cowboy Hat Man shows up. Oh, no, some guy shows up and goes, "Hey, you remember that guy that's like your good friend, Jean Jacket, that Cowboy Hat Man? I think he has a first and last name because we're going to say it 50 times, but fuck if I remember it."
His name's
he
Larry.
goes, "Well, guess what? Somebody killed him." And then him and the lady friend leave, and every student's like, thank God we can have a decent night now. He's gone. Then we go to a doctor. I love this fucking part, though. Absolutely love this.
Dr. Taggart.
So we open on a man having like an acid trip.
Yeah.
It's like a scene from MASH.
It's pretty great. This guy Carl is tripping with Jesus.
Don't send me back out there, man.
Klinger!
This is the best part, is that Jean Jacket shows up and he's all pissed about something. He's like, where's my cowboy hat friend, Larry so-and-so? And then the one doctor looks at him and goes, I'm busy and he's dead.
Just shuts it down. And after he says that, the guy having the acid trip responds to that and says, like, he's dead, but he's risen. I can dig it.
Jean Jacket should have punched that guy in the face. Like that.
He was playing like an asshole character that should have been more physically violent than he actually was.
He just doesn't do anything.
He had no violence.
It's like he was also mad at being in this movie. So then he just like kind of storms off to the morgue, and then he looks at a cowboy hat's dead body for a while. And you know what? He starts examining the bites, and he's thinking about something, but I'll be damned, he doesn't let the audience know what about.
Nope.
He just sits there and he thinks to himself, and we watch him for about 2 minutes looking at a hand, and the wheels are turning, but the voice ain't working, you know? But then all of a sudden, the lights go out again.
And the lady screams.
And then she...
Starting in an Agatha Christie story.
She's like a 5-year-old because the lights come back on and she goes, ah! And starts running out of the hospital.
Inordinately reacts to this. It is sad.
Then the doctor puts away that dead body, and the scene ends with nothing.
Hard cut.
We don't know what he saw in that dead body. We don't know anything. We just... The scene ends.
It's theater of the mind, Mike. You're supposed to fill it in yourself. It's like the end of a Fulci film.
Yeah.
It's like an episode of NCIS.
Go to outside, and Jean Jacket catches up to the lady friend, and she says she was determined not to do that. And I go, what? Run out of a hospital in the dark screaming? Is that a common occurrence or something? Like, what do you mean I was determined not to do that?
It was my fault for bringing a woman to a man's thing. That's what this scene feels like.
More or less what they're implying, yeah.
But then, okay, finally, one character, Jean Jacket, says something about the plot. He's like, I think he was attacked by dogs. But then a car drives up, and the lady gets bored, and the scene ends. Like, literally, that's what happens. Is he says, like, all right, I'm going to give you some exposition now. And she goes, did you see that car drive by?
Well, was that when the motorcycle goes by and drowns out the dialogue?
Yeah. And it just cuts. It's like, we know something more interesting is going on down the road. Let's cut to that, huh?
Yeah, because we do follow that bike.
Yeah, and boy, if this didn't fucking piss me off. Explain to me what happens.
Feel free. So we follow the bike, and he's going down the road, and he bails on the bike because there's these dogs in the middle of the road.
No.
Oh.
They're not in the middle of the road. The dogs are on the fucking sidewalk.
Yeah,
they're on the sidewalk, and he just goes, "Whoa!" and like crashes his car in the middle of the
blue
street.
Spaceball like wipes out over nothing because he saw dogs
just standing on the sidewalk, and he goes, "Yeah!" and turns his bike and flies down on the ground, and he's like, you fucking dogs, and blaming them and everything. It's like, no, man, no, it wasn't their fault.
Hey,
so you can't help but side with
you
the dogs.
don't know. We may have not seen that the dogs oil slick that turn, and we're just waiting for somebody to come through.
He like looks at him and he's like, you fucking dogs, I saw you do that. I saw how you were looking at me.
You want to talk about how to make this movie better? We needed those shots. We needed the dogs setting up Home Alone style traps.
We need a Home Alone dog killer movie. Where they just
more interesting than this.
Killer
people.
Dog, not Dog Killer. That'd be a very upsetting movie.
Well, I'll do
Home
the
Alone
dog
killer movie. That's like Mike's favorite movie.
It's all cats.
It's just cats setting deadly traps for dogs.
So then
Come here, stupid canine.
So then one of the dogs bites him on the fake arm that the film crew put some padding on. They were like, oh, right here, dog. And it bites him on his arm. And then an old lady comes out and she's like, stop biting him, dog. And then the dogs attack her and drag her away.
Yep.
Yeah. So they only find one body. They only find the motorcyclist, not the old lady.
Yeah.
But nobody seemed to care that the old lady was missing.
Nobody even mentions her.
No, she's dragged right out of this movie.
So then we go to a lady friend's house. Her and Jean Jacket come home from another rousing night at the bar at the morgue. This is just a regular day. And he's talking about how animals are not eating for food and its viciousness. And then the lady says the dumbest line of the movie. It's because people stop caring. I mean, if you stop bugging people, they behave like that. And I just write, what? What the fuck does that mean?
if you stop caring about people, they'll just turn rabid like that and start killing for fun. Apparently, I don't know.
No, if you stop bugging people, they behave like that.
Yeah, if you just chill out and quit annoying everybody, they'll start
Because
killing.
I thought her point was like the dogs were neglected.
That was the idea. That's what they're getting.
That's not what she says. And then she invites him in, but he's more interested in watching this dog of hers. And then the scene ends because, of course, it does.
Well, did you see? Okay, they get home, they walk in, they grab the dog from the front door, and then she lets it go and pee in the front yard.
Yeah,
standard for this.
Standard for this fucking city.
Like you do in Southwestern.
Just open the front door. Dog will handle it.
Yeah,
they always come back.
This is also the part where she's like, "Well, you want to get lucky tonight."
She's like, "Do you want to fuck?" And he goes, "No,
no."
And then they're like, "Okay, scene ends."
That's fitting for his character because that would involve him taking off his jean jacket and his Canadian tuxedo, and he'll be damned.
So yeah, no, I was asking if this was his first film.
No.
Okay.
No. That's why he was upset. He's like, "Oh,
what am I doing?"
Yeah, I thought this was going to be the next Jaws. Far from it. So we go to a classroom. Fitzgerald, Better Eddie Deason and Jean Jacket are talking about what animal could have attacked. More shit about pheromones, something about female monkeys, and I just write, Christ almighty.
But thankfully we're saved because this is where the morgue doctor calls and apologizes.
Oh.
Stay strong, Mike.
In the
We're
middle
halfway
of
there.
a conversation, they're talking about pheromones, and then it goes on to female monkeys and all
Ring,
sorts of
ring,
random
ring.
science. Oh, can you get
Ring,
that
ring,
phone, Jean
ring, ring.
Jacket? Hello? Yes?
Hey,
Yes.
this is the morgue doctor. I just want to say I'm sorry for my behavior last night. I was very busy.
I figured you'd be in that other man's classroom, by the way. I just called up a random phone over at the old Southwestern.
But the reason I'm calling is because we have this motorcyclist that has the same bite marks as the farmer.
Oh, could you tell me his first and last name, sir? Because I'm sure you will.
Jordan Smith.
And then he hangs up the phone, and I guess him and Deason know the student who got killed.
Yeah, it was
we
a
didn't,
student, yeah.
but they did. He comes in and he goes, "I have some bad news. John Chackenheimer, he got killed."
I'm busy and he's dead.
Do you know that the Professor Michael has been in this class for like a day?
Yeah.
Like, he would know which student
he
that
knows.
was.
We've already established that he's new here and doesn't know anybody.
They're both fucking real cut up about it. And the other thing, too, is the morgue guy actually calls and goes, "Yeah, I have a student who died from a motorcycle accident. Although I don't think it was a motorcycle accident because he got all these bites on him." It's like, "So what is it, guy?"
Pretty sure he got bit by a motorcycle.
I'm sure the coroner wants to know. He's like, "Well, it was either a motorcycle accident or a dog." We're having a real hard time here at the old Southwestern Hospital trying to figure that one out.
But isn't this where they come up? Now they just randomly come up with a theory that it was domestic dogs doing the killings?
Okay, because Jean Jacket says to Fitzgerald, he goes, "I think it's wild dogs." And then Fitzgerald says, "If it's wild dogs, why are we going through all this?" And I write, "Yeah,
I'm with you."
And then Jean Jacket goes, "No, it must be something with those damn pheromones causing those dogs, domestic dogs, to attack people."
Not
Because-
the Hydron Collider that's going off and shooting out radiation.
But he says, okay, Fitzgerald says this line, which I, again, was enraged at. If they gather in a significant number, they'll reach critical mass. And I write, and the scene ends on that, and I go, what does that mean? What does he mean by dogs will reach critical mass?
Isn't critical mass how they describe like the humans being, there's more humans than food and we eventually will die?
If all the dogs get together, they'll reach critical mass.
I think that's the critical
as an
mass
audience
theory.
member, as an audience member, I'd like to know. Oh, we're cutting. Oh, too late.
Can you give me the definition of critical mass?
We needed that character to walk in and go, "Excuse me, sir, could you define that?"
Well, he's saying that if they all band together, they'll outnumber the cops, and then we can own this city.
Yeah.
Dogs and guns.
Yeah.
That's that old question. Like, what was it? 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? Which would you rather fight?
Moving
That's
on.
really what this movie is trying to answer.
We go to the college president's house. This is where I was getting so upset at this movie because Fitzgerald and Jean Jacket come in and they're like, "Hey, President, we think that dogs are going crazy." And he's like, "Yeah, that sounds fucking stupid. Like, who would make a fucking movie about that?" And they're like, Did you hear about the lady in California who got bit by her own dog?" And then he goes like, "No." And then he's like, "But did you hear about that other guy who got bit by a dog?" And he's like, "No."
So do you realize that this is the 1970s, how hard it would be to get like geographic specific newspapers from all these different places that they're quoting?
Yeah, there's no internet.
Impossible.
Yeah.
You know, this is a big game of telephone. I once heard about a man who got bit by a dog, and then they're like, we need to warn the students, and the president of the college is just like, warn them about what? What the fuck are you talking about?
And what does it matter if the principal isn't on board? Why aren't you at the police station?
What? Yeah. Why does the buck stop at the principal?
This is the president of Southwesternville.
Principal Koppelman.
Because if you notice later when they actually have they show a cop car, it says college police. There's no town police.
We haven't even gotten past campus police yet.
And then we go to a dog show, and god damn it,
a children's dog show.
Damn it,
this dog show needed Fred Willard.
Yes, but no, we hear. Okay, so there's a lady with her arm in a sling. For what reason, I don't know. Did she just show up to set? They're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Did you break your arm? Oh, god damn it! Well, we'll roll with it." Or do you think it was an actor choice? I feel like I should have a broken arm.
You know, you need something to work with. You need a prop. You need some kind of.
And the director's like, "Whatever."
Doesn't match your dress, but whatever.
It's just whatever.
Look, I'm either going to wear this arm sling or I'm going to keep looking at this snow globe. You get to pick one.
And then there's a lady in a hat who we'll later find out is the president's wife. But I didn't know this now.
Louise.
Barbara Bush.
And then guess what, guys?
We get a cast introduction.
Yeah, we are at a fucking children's dog show where we're going to watch an old lady talk to every single child in the competition.
By one.
But they will introduce each of the killer dogs and give them a name.
Oh, every dog has a name, and every child has a first and last name, and she asked the fucking gender of each dog.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell me you wrote down the names
Is
of
it
the
a
dogs.
no? Hell no.
Ahem.
Is it a bitch? Is it a man? I don't know what's the opposite of a bitch in the dog world.
I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't know enough to
He doesn't
care.
give a shit about dogs. His heart is cold.
So literally we go through 6 children. What's your name? What's your dog's name? Is that a boy dog? Oh, it's a girl? my mistake. Sorry.
Does it have a wee wee?
How are you, Mitchell? And who's this handsome fellow?
Sundance.
Sundance. Like in the Sundance Kid, right? Oh, I bet he does a lot of tricks, huh? I'll bet he wins the prize. Hi there. What's your name?
Michelle.
Oh, what a lovely name. And what's your doggy's name?
Dickens.
Dickens. Oh, that's a marvelous name.
It's a boy name.
A boy name. I'm sorry.
So we go through like 6 of these, right? And at this point, you might want to let's set up some tension, huh? Let's set up some tension, baby. Let's get like one of these dogs giving her a look or something. Maybe like a little bit of music. Maybe some teeth are shown. You know, just something.
Yeah, we need like the dog to mouth "fuck you."
Yes.
Just to go. Wait a minute. What was that?
Oh, like a little Summer of Sam
Like
situation.
Like a live action Scooby Doo, like fuck you, animated dog mouth.
So then you know what? We cut back to the president and the scientists, and they're still having the same argument.
Aren't they
no
like trying to-
tensions created in either scene.
They're just trying to convince people to leave their dogs inside for the night and don't let them run around.
Stop letting your dog run outside.
They won't. And then these guys just talk in circles. He doesn't believe him. He won't alert anyone. And then we go back to the dog show. A dog barks at somebody. And then the kid couldn't be bothered to look scared. Is what I read.
No.
Is the kid's just like blank face, like just standing there, and this dog's going.
Because if you notice, when the dog's going crazy and when they're showing the kid, those are 2 different cuts.
Oh, yeah.
There is
Oh, yeah.
like there's no way to
Dog
put a dog
is
that close.
totally chill.
The dog's going crazy, and the director forgot to go, "Oh no, act scared, kid," because he just stands there going like, "Huh." And then all of a sudden, this doesn't even make sense. It pissed me off even more is that the lady with the sling in her arm goes, "Children, drop all your leashes and walk to me."
Great idea.
No, don't let them out.
The dogs are panicking. Untether them.
And then all of a sudden, we get like dog POV again.
The dogs start a riot in this bitch.
And they just start running after people.
And because everyone in this movie knows what to do when an angry dog is coming at you, they all start running.
Yeah.
Yep. Didn't they trampled some people?
No. Here's the thing. The lady with the sling goes, "Put down your leashes. Now walk to me." And nothing has happened yet. And then she goes, "Run!" And then they all start running. And
She
the
just
dogs
wanted
go
to
crazy.
set up a nice human shield of other people in between her and the dog.
Children last, please.
Before she booked it.
Children last.
She gathered everything that ran slower than her.
Yeah,
surrounded
all around
herself.
By the way, she was in the front.
Yeah, and said, "Bye." Took off.
Injured women first.
It's just great because when you run away from a dog, all it does is make a dog want to chase you.
Right. Because that's when they start chasing them. And then all these people run into a building and the dogs are about to attack. Cut to boring conversation. And then, okay, this is what pissed me off. The president of the college
receives the phone call.
Receives a phone call saying there was an attack by dogs at the kindergarten. I go, why would they call him about this?
Why not the cops?
Because in this universe, there is only campus security and the president of the college.
He goes, hello? Yes, this is the president of the college. There was an attack at the kindergarten? What does it have to do with me?
We needed a moment of someone going, get the president on the phone.
Oh, we'll get the governor on the phone. Can't wait for that one.
Oh, yeah.
And then I write, so this makes that conversation that we had pretty much pointless because there was nothing to convince him that dogs were bad, but now he has all the reason in the world. They just attacked a group full of children.
Yeah, sort of. They barked a lot and everybody ran.
No, people got trampled.
Yeah, but they hurt each other. The dogs didn't do that.
So then we go to a school later, right?
Yeah, it's the same field. The dogs have run away.
And we didn't see any attacks.
No,
we just see an ambulance with a guy hurt and a lot of angry parents, which I wrote, weren't they already there? The parents were all already there.
Yeah.
They have the parents show up and they're like, where's my kid? Is he safe? You were there.
Well, yeah, but I ran the other way. So now where the hell's my kid?
Well, the kids were in the back. We don't.
We assume they got dragged away.
That would have been great if they were running away and some guy pushed a kid on the ground. Take him.
And what's funny about that, and a lot of other scenes in this movie that we'll get to, is that an issue with doing a zombie movie where all the zombies are dogs is you can't make a dog act vicious all the time. So there's so many shots that are supposed to be harrowing or even terrifying.
Oh.
But these are some good boys.
Oh, yeah.
They're just sitting there smiling.
Like
just
when that wagging their tail.
Yeah, wagging their tails, wanting some belly rubs. And you're just like, I'm supposed to be afraid of this.
My favorite scene is coming up when one breaks through a wall. So then we see the president of the college, who is apparently the president of all schools now, and he says that
he's the president of college.
Yeah, and he says the children must have been frightened by the dogs, and that was the whole explanation. I said, yeah,
well done, Columbo.
You weren't there.
Yeah,
and then
the guy they called up knew exactly what caused this.
We also learned through very convenient ADR. Somebody goes, none of the kids were hurt.
That was a note later.
And then just Jean Jacket shows up and he's like, hey, okay, everybody, just go home and lock your doors, right? Or no, he tells one guy, he goes, hey, go home and lock your door. And then the guy responds, rightfully so, by saying, it's a bunch of dogs, round up some guns and let's shoot them.
And finally, I feel like you started to come around on this movie.
Well, it's like, that's an idea, huh?
He's just like, they're fucking dogs.
Yeah, they're a bunch of dogs. They get together and they suddenly have a purpose. Oh, no, he goes, no. Jean Jacket says, they aren't just a bunch of dogs. They get together and suddenly they have a purpose. And I write, I'm sorry, are dogs in groups now bulletproof?
I also like the implication that a dog alone is fucking useless. But I'm like, now they actually matter.
It's better if they roam in packs. Use less shotgun bullets. Because, you just get the spray, you take out a few with each shot, zombie dog's gone.
They're not zombies.
No, they're acting
They're
like
acting like zombies. They're hive mind.
Just fire them all. Just take out a couple shotguns, stand in a field, wait for them to show up, and movie over.
I find this conversation very upsetting.
Would you wait until morning, like Dr. Thompson suggests?
No, I just get my shot. No, actually, you should have waited till morning.
No, Mike's going on a snipe hunt. He's going out with a bag and a gun and rocks.
Here's what I say. Okay, so I wrote at this point, I go, do you think this movie is somehow going to become like a Schindler's List for dogs?
We're going to see the red coat.
Like, we're just going to go round them up. Like,
I find this conversation very upsetting.
I want to have it like a scene where they're like taking dogs away from a little kid. He's like, no, not Fluffy. And they're like, I'm sorry, son, he's got to go. And they're like bringing all the dogs in the town. Like, bring out your dogs. Bring out your dogs.
I can see this as the cats being the SS.
Huh. And I was just right. I do also think that Jerry Lewis might play a rodeo clown.
Rodeo clown?
Because you know how Jerry Lewis made that...
The clown who cried,
yeah. He'd just play like a rodeo clown for the dogs. So then the Jean Jacket says they shouldn't kill the dogs at night and wait till morning. That's a good idea. And then these two townies, they're like, hell, that we're going to listen to that.
No, we're forming a posse.
We're going to listen to you smart people.
That's very very relevant to today. Oh, you think just because you're smart that you're so much smarter?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's what.
you goddamn foreigner accent man.
Your facts are bullshit, man.
Yeah, guess what? I'm not even going to bring a gun. I'm just going to go light a campfire and drink.
Oh, these guys.
It's just some dogs.
Okay, but this
What's
is amazing.
great is the sheriff is listening to this plan, and
Yes.
he responds with like, "Look, I'm not gonna have a bunch of idiots with loaded guns running around shooting at shadows. Someone's gonna get hurt." And they're like, "You should come with us." He's like, "Okay." It's like, and now the posse is formed.
Oh, God. And then we go to the scientists, right? Our two boys, Jean Jacket and Deason, and they're just borrowing the president's dog. Like, he just walks into
No,
a
you
scene.
missed a whole other part. You missed the part. So they have the posse's getting together, but then the principal's wife is like, you have to call the governor. Do we get that entire phone call?
We sure do.
Don't worry. I wrote it down
do.
because that's coming up. But basically, they're like, hey, the president let me borrow his dog. We didn't bother to film that or talk about it. Let's put it in this cage filled with plastic.
They're going to put it in a cage filled with plastic and fill it with oxygen, which would prove that pheromones have nothing to do with it because it's blocked all the pheromones out.
Yeah, they're testing the pheromone theory.
Uh-huh. And guess what? It'll prove it has nothing to do with it.
That's science, baby.
So then we go to the president's house, and he calls the governor, and this is about when I fucking lost it again. Now, I'm going to read you the conversation he has and how fucking pointless this is, and this is dialogue in a movie, everybody. This was written and performed, and somebody said, yeah, that's good enough. Here we go. He picks up the phone, and he says, hey, yeah, how are you? Did you get that book I sent to you? You know, the one about the Tibetan Book of the Dead?
Yeah.
And I just write, what the fuck are we
I got a little
about?
excited because I thought that the Tibetan Book of the Dead was somehow going to tie into why all this is happening. Nah.
That would have been great if the governor was like doing spells and it's caused these dogs to do
The
this.
governor's like, they cut to it. He's like, I got that book. He's like flipping the pages and petting a dog.
But no, the wife's sitting there, like his wife's like, shh, don't put the dogs, don't put the dogs. And he's like, I'm on the phone. And then he goes, oh yeah? Yeah. We've had some incidents. Oh, no, nothing serious. No, it has nothing to do with that classified research going on. No, not at all. No, it's just these silly dog attacks. Hello? What's that? Oh, you have a dog? Oh, what kind? Oh, a mutt? Oh, that's beautiful. Where'd you get it? Oh, Caesar gave it to you? And then I just write, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
You're about ready to run a long bath.
Then the wife finally grabs the phone. She goes, let's end this fucking scene.
My favorite character because of that, Louise Koppelman, gets shit done. She takes the phone away from him and starts explaining what's going on.
She explains the plot.
For a second.
Yeah, she's like, there's killer fucking dogs. Do something. And then she's like, I don't know that you're the governor. Just do something. And then the husband goes, give me that phone back, wife. And then he goes, don't mind her. She's a little upset. Just send down some Department of Animal Regulation men. By the way, have you been to the so-and-so lately?
Yeah, it's like he goes, never mind her. She's a woman. And
just
just goes back to his bullshit.
I write 3 words. Fuck you, Hughes.
That's it. I thought this movie was enjoyable, so the fact that you hate this is even better.
So then we go to the science guys, right?
Mike, you picked the wrong day to watch this
Yeah,
thing,
I did.
man. You were just not in the right place.
Yeah, don't blame me because you saw it and then this.
Yeah, I think your problem is with Stephen King and his dog.
I just hate movies. I hate them all. So then we go to science, and they put a dog in a cage, and they take forever to do something. Sit around for 5 minutes, playing with fucking silly putty or something.
They're locking out all the air. All the pheromones can't get in. Whatever. It was
They
stupid.
discovered Nickelodeon GAC.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what they've been doing.
Did you like the part where they're putting it in and
I
then
love
like
it, Hughes.
then he has his hand covered in it and he goes, "Hey, throw me some more putty." And he goes, "It's in my pocket, but I have shit on my hands. I don't put it in my pocket." So then we have to watch him go awkwardly into his other.
Yep.
Like I think it was ad-libbed.
That's a scene in this movie. And then we get townies hunting for dogs, but they decide to light a fire and drink instead.
Yeah, great.
And then they laugh
These
because...
are like the Crystal Lake townies.
Yeah, definitely. And then all of a sudden some guy comes back with the sheriff and he goes, this pussy laughed. This pussy got scared by a rabbit. And then everybody laughs at him. And then the sheriff's just like, all right, guys, maybe we're hitting the sauce a little hard. You know, we're supposed to be out here shooting dogs. Come on. And then
and they hear a howling in the distance.
This is like a weird singing howl. It was great.
It's like a sound.
Someone's singing Werewolves of London in the distance.
Yeah.
Warren Zevon.
Yeah, Warren Zevon's just kind of wafting through the air like Sammy Johns, you know? And apparently it sets the dogs off. Okay, so
the howling is going,
and then nothing happens.
We have a bunch of off-camera over here. No, I think it's over here.
Yeah,
like they're having trouble finding the budget,
and then
like,
they're
it's not. There's nothing happening.
But they're like, wait, hold on, this scene's supposed to be scary. Turn off your flashlights.
Yeah,
we're too safe. The sheriff goes, turn them off. Give me that flashlight. Give me that flashlight. And he fights a guy, and he turns them off. For what reason?
Because dogs don't see better at night, apparently.
Oh, no.
Let's not see the dog coming at us.
Well, their vision works on movement.
Yeah, you know what else there is? A fucking fire that's dancing all over the place.
No, they stomped that out. One of the guys stomped that out.
Turn off those lights. Turn off those lights. We need to be in complete darkness to be safe. Then we just cut to the science boys, and it's so boring that one of the characters just falls asleep.
Yeah, Fitz has slept, and Harlan accidentally startles him awake, and then kind of gives him a very tongue-in-cheek woof woof. Fucker, people have died. Let's take this a little seriously, science man.
How about the fact that he kicked him awake and he goes, how long you been asleep? And he goes, 20 minutes. I'm like, how the fuck do you know that?
Science.
Yeah,
science.
Men of science are really
good. You can tell
by
by the direction of the moon and the sky. He was, come on.
I just like that there's killer dogs running around. You have a dog in front of you in a cage that you think is going to kill, and you go to sleep in front of it outside, unprotected.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because dogs. It's this movie. It's everything that you ever have a problem with or anything, you just go, because it's dogs. Then we go to townies. They lights in the dark, scary noises. They get attacked by some dogs. Then the sheriff just shines his flashlight and points it like he's an idiot. Like he just starts going like basically a man's getting attacked in front of him, and he's like, should I hold on, a flashlight in one hand, gun in the other, but I don't know.
Well, he keeps on turning the flashlight off because he thinks that's the trigger of his gun.
Firing a flashlight.
I could shoot this dog, but also I don't know if should I drop this flashlight or how's the gun work?
Well, he's testing his little monsters theory. He's gonna see if he shines the light and the dog turns into a pile of clothes.
A man is dying in front of him. He's like, ah!
And he's just clicking a flashlight on
and he's like, oh, that's not the gun button.
Click, 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 click.
I like to watch this in slow motion.
Oh, it's so much scarier in a strobe.
Oh, you should see it.
Oh, man.
We're all going to get a good laugh about this later. And then he goes, oh, wait, I should run. And then he just starts running, right? And then he falls on the ground, and you get the old guns away from me trope.
Uh-huh.
But then he gets the gun, and he shoots a dog, and he crawls. Like, we watch another 3 minutes of this man crawling. He gets in his cop car, and he just goes,
he's about to get to the controller to where he can call for backup.
Send more cops.
And he dies.
They're everywhere. They're roaming in packs.
I wish the dog would have gotten the gun from him and shot him.
Oh, come on. Now that's good. Like a fucking paw going in the trigger.
But while he's running away, doesn't it remind you like Blair Witch?
A little bit.
It was it was 1970s. It was great.
So then we go to some people. Is that right? I don't know these people. Maybe they were in the movie earlier. I forget.
They were the second pool party.
Yeah, it's Dr. Aintree and Professor Ingle.
That's the guy that got. Isn't that the guy that got attacked by the CNI dog?
Oh, this is the lady from Dallas.
Yeah, the lady from Dallas. And this entire scene is just Dr. Aintree. They've been seeing each other a little bit here and there. They've gone on a few dates, and he's hoping to kind of land this plane finally. So he's like, "You're gonna let me in?" And she ices him the fuck out. Like, it is savage.
It is a weird scene because they've been going out for a bunch. He's like, well, are we ever going to get this? She's like, no. He's like, well, do you want to go see other people? She's like, no, you can still take me out. And he's just like, what?
You know what?
Nope.
You got to appreciate that honesty. She's laying it all out on the table for him. She's like, every time you ask me if I want to go somewhere, I'm going to say, yeah, I'll take a free dinner. I don't want to fuck you.
Yeah, because he goes, it's getting a little tiring leaving you at the door here. Tiring for my dick.
Hey, I got to tell you, you know what's a really solid approach if you're trying to make it happen is bitch about it.
Yeah. And then she goes, let's just say I have a headache.
And shuts the door.
Yeah, it is rough. And deservedly so, because he's going about this all wrong.
Yeah. He's like, so, date 3. Hey.
I'm just,
My bank account's getting a little low.
Look, you're going to put out or am I getting those hamburgers back?
He just takes a finger out and goes for the throat. He's like, I'll get it.
Yeah.
So
she had the right to mace him, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I like this part because we see him. He's left at the door, and we know where his car is. And then the howl comes back, and the only thing is he going to make it?
Ward Zevon returns.
No, he just drives away.
He made it. He made it to his car.
He just goes, what's that sound? Fuck it. Who cares? I'm going in my car. I'm going to go home and masturbate. And then we get a weird POV shot
Of the
outside her
dogs.
window.
The dog's
This
stalking
is
her.
so great because it's just your standard fare. Like we watched Psycho and we're gonna do the shower scene.
Yeah, it's kind of like Psycho and Michael Myers from the other side. And
Yeah.
This was definitely a case of like, all right, now, Miss soon to be on Dallas, you did say you'd get naked, right?
Like even in a killer dog movie,
And she's
we
like-
have to have like sexy lady taking a shower while somebody stalks her.
Yeah, but you know what? She was like, no, I'm not getting naked.
Absolutely not.
And he's like, but you did promise. Yeah, no,
No.
not gonna do it.
That's why, as a director, you have to film those scenes first, because if you put them into too much of the movie, they know they can start demanding things.
She's like, look, I said I'd do movies with you. I'm not gonna get naked.
She said, look, I have a headache.
I have a headache. Let's just say
Yeah, I got a
have a headache. And you can go to the Vap Shack with Dr. Ainsley.
But unfortunately, she left that sliding glass door in her bedroom open. I don't know why.
That sliding glass door was in her bathroom.
Yeah, it was very odd.
It was good. It was good. I thought for a second with the POV that this was Hugh from Loose Screws. Just getting 2 points for a look.
Oh, yeah.
You got the skateboard going?
Yep.
But instead we get like Psycho, but with a dog. He attacks her in the shower, like the same thing. It's like, wee, wee, wee.
Yeah,
And then-
exactly.
The dog grabs. First, he somehow uses his paw and throws away the shower curtain.
You do see a dog
come up.
Basically, you see a dog go rah, and then he like comes through the shower curtain.
I was hoping
triumph.
I was hoping they'd turn the camera around and that dog was wearing an old woman's wig.
What you didn't see is like that would have been amazing.
She gets killed.
Norman Bates and the wig dog.
A dog cosplaying as an old woman.
The dog comes in, kills her. They do flash to her for a second, but like they basically gave her vinyl shorts.
Is that all we're gonna get?
That's
Is that
all
all
we
we're
got.
getting out of you? Yep.
We got some
Yes, it
exposed back.
That was on the cover of the re-release of the VHS. Like, come see this lady dead from Dallas. She's dead on the floor. Slaughter. So then we go to scientists. They're at some police office. With,
They're at the college police office.
Hey, and you know what, guys? You know it's a smart idea at the old college police office? Leave the door unlocked and leave guns right on that front table, huh?
Yeah, it's like leaving a penny.
See a penny,
leave
pick
a
it
gun,
up.
take
Yeah,
a gun.
have a gun, leave a gun, need a gun, take a gun. It was different in the 70s.
But this is great. Is at one point a guy goes over to a closet and opens it, and a guy falls out, and I go, how?
The dogs have learned. They have evolved.
These dogs have watched every horror movie. You know,
Okay.
if a raptor can learn how to use a door.
At first, I thought it might have been the sheriff that died, and I was like, did he come all the way back to the sheriff's station, put himself in the closet, and wait for somebody to open the door and go, I'm dead? No, it was apparently a guy who, got bit and then went in a closet and died?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he put himself in there and he got attacked.
Well,
and
he
then
got bit and he isolated himself because he feared he'd turn into a dog.
Yeah. Or I thought maybe the dog did it. Like,
I want to know. I want to think that the dogs are planning bodies to fuck with people now.
like the Benny Hill, you know? They're
Yeah.
like, and you open the door, and one of them falls out. They're like,
Oh, that was like a weekend at Bernie's, and like they kill one of their owners and start wearing their skin.
Yeah, that's like they do in Weekend at Bernie's, where they wear
You know-
Bernie's skin.
That'd be great.
I was just going to say, that's a much better movie. There you go.
Wow.
Hey, you know what? To be Bernie, we got to become Bernie, you know?
You know that Weekend at Bernie's sequel where they go to Texas and open a barbecue place?
Andrew McCarthy just... He's like, no. Richard, trust me. If I wear Bernie's skin, that'll be a much better movie.
That's like if Rob Zombie did a Weekend at Bernie's remake.
I just know it'd be more entertaining than Swiss Army Man.
Whoa, shots fired.
You don't like watching corpses break wind?
Yeah.
No, that movie sucked.
So,
liked it.
you guys didn't see... I didn't see that movie yet, but I didn't want to see it. You guys didn't see, though, the cutaway when this guy fell out of the closet? The dogs were laughing.
No.
You saw that sheepdog? He's like...
They're high pawing each other.
Yeah. And so then, okay, they grab some guns. One of the take a penny,
What,
leave
the
a
dogs?
penny.
Oh.
No, the guys. The guys grab some guns.
I'm telling you, I need some armed dogs in this movie.
And then they just drive off the president's house. Okay, this is great. They go to the president's house, and he's getting attacked by a dog on the ground, and he's like, God damn it, shoot the dog!
This
and
scene
then
is so great.
Deason's like, wait a second, how do you use a gun? And
It
he
was
just
so
sits there,
good.
like, aims for, like, minutes, and then he shoots, and then they run over, and he goes, I think I shot him.
Yeah, it's just like Speed. You
Yeah,
shoot the hostage.
Shoot the hostage in the head.
It's so inept. It's absurd. He's like, I got this. I'll save you. Blam. Oh, shit.
I think I killed him. And Jean Jacket's like, yeah, I think you fucked that one up.
So all the dogs are going crazy right now, and they're killing everybody. We can see they're finding dead bodies now.
Yeah, it's getting
and
out of hand.
his first choice is to go to the principal's house and not to his girlfriend's house.
Well, that's when Jean Jacket goes, after you shot that principal, I think I'm going to leave this scene.
I might need to get out of here. You just murdered a guy.
Yeah.
I don't feel safe around you anymore.
But we do find the wife dead in the pool, by the way. She's just floating because apparently their dogs put her in there where she did the old jump in the pool. And that's when he goes, yeah, I think I'm going to go to my lady friend's house. Why don't you take care of this here?
See, I wanted to see the pool death, though. I wanted the dog, paddling behind her. Like, all slow, doing the little doggy paddle.
Lick in the face.
Yeah.
And then, Deason's like, okay, I'll go help the students, so I won't shoot them, I promise.
Give me your gun before you go over there.
Also, do you need to reload a gun, or do they just reload themselves? I don't know.
You have to shoot off screen, and then it reloads.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And so then we go to the lady friend's house, and Jean Jacket shows up, and he goes, hey, we got to leave. Oh, by the way, do you have any alcohol I could drink? Because this is a fucking thing in our movie where we established earlier that this guy's supposed to be a drunk. When people are like, oh, he's only happy if he's got a beer in his hand.
Though, put yourself in that situation. Like, dogs are murdering everybody. I might want to tie one on.
Okay, yeah. But here's what I'm saying. In the regular movie, when you have a character arc, this is the point where he sees the alcohol and he rejects it because he's breaking away from his vices and he's going to change as a person. No, he drinks the alcohol. And then we just go, the lady friend's holding her dog. This little dog who's the only dog in the whole world who has not freaked out yet. And it makes no sense.
No, it's because she's holding him. Because as Chris and I established earlier, this movie's actually about love.
Yes.
Yeah.
And compassion.
It makes no sense because none of those kids were mean to their dogs.
Companionship.
Not one of those kids was mean to their dogs. They were really nice to them. It makes no sense why this dog won't attack anybody. I wrote, maybe it's supposed to be deaf. Maybe the science man would be interested in why this is the only fucking dog in town who won't attack. But no, he doesn't care. He doesn't even question it. He's just like, oh, bring the dog. Don't forget about the dog.
Yeah, definitely bring the dog.
And she's, by the way, holding it next to her throat.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on. We need to just go like,
oh, like you wanted a scene like The Beyond?
Yes, I wanted
when
to
blind
rip her
Emily
throat
just gets her
out.
throat taken out.
So violent, Mike. He has no compassion or love.
No love. No compassion.
So we go to a classroom and Deason's, oh my God, this is amazing. Again, a science man, okay? A man of science, man of smarts. He's got all the kids in
Man
a
with
room,
glasses.
okay? In a common room, in a dorm. And he goes, all right, everybody, we're all here, but we're gonna go to the library.
Yeah.
Not before that. We're going to do a little bit of paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need
get out of here
everybody
for a few minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to do a head count.
You know how we're all perfectly safe in this building? I want everybody to sign a piece of paper that I know you're all here. Then we're going to walk outside with the dogs.
Into danger.
And see how many die. And I'll have a list of how many of you died.
Right. And it's weird, too. All these people are in there horsing off, cracking one-liners. And there's one dude they show when they scan the crowd is shirtless. I mean, I guess it's worth a shot. You know, everyone on this college campus is gathered in one room. He's like, it's a numbers game. Someone's a little panicky and is going to want to do this.
And then cut to, okay, this is amazing. This is incredible. Guys, but this guy I call Bucket Hat comes up to
Gilligan.
Yeah, Gilligan comes up to Deez and he's like, oh boy, the skipper's missing. And he goes, you mean that fat kid? Where is he?
It's kind of great because he does say Howard, and then the teacher clarifies, oh, fat boy?
Yeah, oh, fatty fat kids? The one fat guy at the school?
Need to remind you, Fitzgerald is fucking new here.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't even know these people yet.
Fat kid, fatty fatter.
Oh, fat ass wandered off?
And he goes,
well, we shouldn't have a problem with the dogs for a while.
He's like, he went to the commissary. Like, he couldn't help it.
The cartoonish fat guy got hungry and wandered to find the cafeteria. Loose screws.
Yeah. So we cut to Deezen, and he's like running down a hallway, like a giant hallway with a gun, right? Like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. And then, well, he is. He's like running and he's all
this
ready
is
to
his
go.
big moment, man.
Yeah. We then get to the fat guy and he's singing, right? He just starts singing his own
fucking song.
Which, by the
This
way,
guy is great. He's got a half gallon of milk and 8 packages of sweet rolls, and he's singing.
He's just like, yeah, I'm having a good day.
This dude is drunk on his own gluttony. It's awesome.
He's the fatty fat man.
And you know what? I think that's what I'd do in an apocalyptic situation like this. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting me a stack of snack cakes.
The other fat kid comes out, and you're just like, yeah, it's time to enjoy myself. And he just starts, he's like eating this fucking roll, right? And then the dogs come in, and he goes, hey, what are you dogs doing in here?
They should have done the Jurassic Park thing where it's like the Jell-O and then the shadow in the background.
But instead he's like, oh, hi, puppy. And they're wagging their tails. They're all having a good time. And then Deezen runs in and he's like, oh my God, throw that food to them. And he's like, he holds onto it like, no.
I only have 5 packs of these sweet buns.
And he's like, throw the food. And he's literally got 4 more packs behind him. And he's like, but I've started eating
these are mine. I don't.
And then finally he throws it and the dogs run off and I go,
except for one.
Hold on. So this whole movie, you could have just distracted the dog by throwing food?
Turns out they're still dogs. You throw them food and get away.
This is where I wish that the movie would have ended like Tremors. Keep on throwing sweet buns to the edge of the cliff and then throw it.
They just go off like lemmings.
Like somebody's just like, does anybody have a tennis ball? Does anybody have a ball?
Where is the butcher shop?
We needed the big hero shot where like a door rolls up and there's 8 people standing there with spray bottles. Just snow.
Just you give every kid in the college a dog whistle. Watch them freak out.
All at once, they all go. And then all the dogs just roll over dead.
And it's all silent for us.
Yeah, there's no sound. It's just dogs running away.
Okay, so then Deezen tries to shoot the dog, and he's like, oh, wait, I forgot to reload.
Yeah, Deezen shouldn't be shooting it.
Yeah, apparently he shot one shot, and then that was it.
The one shot he got off murdered a guy. He's got to stop.
But this is where he quick thinking. He cold cocks this fucking dog right in the shoulder, and they put little fake blood on the dog.
Yeah, that was good.
Now it's time for the fatty to run.
Then this is great. Him and Deezen are trying to run. Yeah, and you just hear wheezing.
And the thing is, like, he's not running with a sense of urgency. He looks like he's just on a light jog. Like he's not fearing for his life at all.
Literally, like, dogs came in, they looked at him, they didn't attack. He threw his buns, 4 of them ran away, and then this guy just came and cold cocked one.
The guy runs in.
Like, what are you running away
from?
from? There's literally nothing to run away from.
There should have been a part when he's like, can I bring the... No, you can't bring the food! And he's like, but we're just going to let it go bad?
And he's like, okay, you're right. But he's like, stuffing them in his sweatpants.
He's like, we are going to get hungry in that library, right?
Well, I'm going to get hungry.
I don't know how long we're going to be in there. I'm just trying to play it safe.
Then we cut to, as I call him, the insect idiot.
Oh, the old jock.
And he goes, hey, guys, you know what? We should go walk into danger.
I love it. They're like, I think they forgot about us. Like, it's been 10 minutes. He told you where he was going and that he was coming back.
Who is they?
Right? The dogs?
Yeah, they forgot about us. Let's go into danger, guys. And then the bucket hat guy's like, no, let's not do that. Gilligan's like, no, let's not do that. Let's wait for the skipper. And then cut to Jean Jacket and Lady Friend.
This is great. This is a great scene.
They're sitting with the one dog who won't attack anybody, right?
Right.
And then what happens to you?
Then they cut outside and we get like covert dogs jumping through the windows like SEAL Team 6.
Okay, and then what? She just goes upstairs. She goes, I need to get something upstairs. And then she fucking just runs out going, ah! And then all these dogs come down. From where? We don't know.
They spawned.
No, they jumped through the windows.
For the second story
They
of the
rappelled
window.
down.
And by the way, they didn't just attack him in the living room. They're like, watch this. You know, when one of them comes upstairs, we're going to get him. She just comes running down, going, ah! And then all these dogs come down, and Jean Jacket shoots a German Shepherd, and he just, like, flies against the wall or something. Which I was like, finally. Then we go to the idiot college students, and they're all walking outside. They're like, there's no dogs around here. And then some weird sound goes, right? The weird sound comes, and then they all start just scattering and running like morons. And then... I remember when they could have just stayed safe?
When everything was fine.
Like, they're in the dorms. Just go back to your room.
Yeah.
Lock it.
Like, you
back
got
when
food,
your biggest danger was that shirtless guy.
Yeah.
You got food, you got water, you got some Counter-Strike, you got maybe some movies to watch.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm sure you got some joints and some Zeppelin records. It's a good night, you know? So then 2 of the guys, Insect Moron, Insect Idiot, and Gilligan, they just all of a sudden duck down. Like, they just get low on the field, and the dogs just run past them.
They played dead.
It was like, okay.
Dogs
It
are
was so
stupid.
weird.
Yeah, stupid dog.
Stupid dog hive mind.
Somebody get a stick. Nope. They somehow survive. Then the dogs attack more students, but not Insect Idiot or Gilligan.
Yeah, but they get into the library and the dogs are trapped outside. They just all sit like good dogs.
Yeah, good boy.
Good boy.
And then
That was one of the really noticeable, like, these aren't terrorizing at all. They're just...
I thought it was very like Children of the Corn like scene.
it's
You found it chilling to
There's-
see these
Yeah,
dogs look all happy
chilling.
and just sit there?
There's no tension.
play.
There's no tension at all. None. And then they're in the garage. Okay, so Jean Jacket and the lady friend are in their garage trying to stop the dogs from getting in. And here's an idea. There's a fucking car right next to you. Just drive.
They have that
Get
idea,
the
too.
fuck
They
outta
had that
here.
idea.
Not yet. They board up a door and all this because apparently a dog can fucking turn a knob.
Hey, if a raptor can, so can a dog.
Apparently, like these dogs can like coordinate enough to push a door open.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. Air Bud was able to play multiple sports. I think
Yeah.
you're selling these dogs short.
And that one dog that went to the funeral, Max, he jumps through windows at the White House.
Yeah, there you go. But instead, they board up the door, and then the dogs are now stuck in the house. And then they finally get in the car, and he's like, "Hey, we should go." And she's like, "Oh, I left the keys in the kitchen."
Yeah, he goes, "Where's your keys?" She says, "In my bag." Well, where's your bag? In the kitchen. And for fuck's sake, Caroline.
And he goes, "Well, it's all right. I'll hotwire the car. I haven't done this since I was 10. Okay." And then he goes and he fucking hotwires the car under the hood.
No, he doesn't. He never hot wires. He goes like, okay, I need some wire. Let me go look through the
some wire.
garage.
He has no clue how to do this.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh shit, the dog's made it through, so I'm gonna go back in here.
Did the filmmakers not know how hot wiring worked?
Apparently.
No, definitely not. And then Jean Jacket boards. Okay, this is what. Oh God, I got so pissed at this. There's a dog door that you apparently forgot about in the garage, right? And then they board one up, and there's just another dog door, like right next to the other one. Like you needed two.
It's pretty hilarious. To pan over and see a second dog door.
Then they basically just get in a car. And
No, they get in the car, and then that second dog door is where the dog pushes through the wall. And comes in.
The shaggy dog breaks in through the wall. Like he just doesn't really violently breaks in, just walks through a wall.
This is where I kind of wish that how this movie should have went is when Caroline and him are in the house and he asks for alcohol. He knows the dogs are going to come to attack them, so he goes behind the stove and pulls the gas line and starts filling the house with gas. And that booze he asked for makes a little like
see, that would have been a movie,
and then blows the fucking house up.
See, now we're doing something.
That would have been a movie, like a movie with a plot, and characters and decisions.
Then we see running dogs out. They're all covered in fire and napalm.
Okay, so then we just go back to the library, and like Deezen and Fatty Fat Pants are just looking at dead bodies, and then Fatty just runs off for no reason and tries to get in the library. A dog attacks him, crashes through the window of the library, which is great, by the way. That was good. And then these students just watch instead of helping. They're just watching him eat the man. And then all of a sudden the dogs just come in, and everybody runs around in a panic, and like basically everybody's dead.
Yeah, we get long hero shots of all these dead bodies.
It looks like Jonestown.
It's amazing. Like, this is the best part of the movie, is seeing all these dead students strewn around the room.
I did appreciate the big, like, Goldberg spear that German Shepherd did through the window. Like, it was pretty solid.
Yeah, it was great. And then this is my favorite part, is that, like, Deezen is, like, in the middle of these dead bodies, and he's, like, sulking around.
He's sad.
And I was like, they should end this like The Mist.
Oh.
He should fucking shoot himself.
And then all the dogs walk away, and, like, the crew shows up.
Yeah. I was like, he should just off himself right now. It'd be great. No, instead, we go to the morning, and like then the Jean Jacket and Lady Friend like drive away, and they go to the middle of a field, and then they see
the cop.
Deezen dead.
Oh yeah, they found the cop car with the dead cop in it, but then they find Deezen outside of that
Just
dead.
like in front of it, just
dead.
laying
No
there.
death scene.
He died off screen.
Somehow he got killed in that night.
He died off screen in a different area than the library,
Which
or
means
or
that
the
in
campus.
his sadness, he just started wandering.
Yeah.
He decided to let the dogs take him.
How does this movie end?
By
the way, what happened to her pet dog?
No idea.
That's a very good question.
It's gone.
I don't think we ever addressed that.
Nope.
Yeah.
That dog
It's
just
gone.
disappears.
Fuck it.
So Caroline and Mike, I think it was the guys in Tom's, the Jean Jacket.
No, Mike's the guy who died.
Oh,
Harlan's the jean jacket.
They
He
drive
pulled the
off.
mist.
They drive off, and they're listening to like a newscast of all these dogs going crazy
Saying
around
that
the around
it's
the
been
country.
spreading in different incidents throughout California. This is becoming a planet of the dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything we've established with the pheromones,
It
and
doesn't matter.
the government plot
Doesn't
nope,
matter.
because it's happening everywhere.
So as they drive off and they're talking about where they're going to go or whatever, I don't fucking care. You see a cat come up on the hill.
It's right after the radio says, so far only dogs are being affected.
We see a cat go on the hill, and it goes,
Freeze frame.
Oh, by the way, super fast 70s zoom in on the cat.
It's really dramatic.
And I guess this is as angry as they could get the cat to look, which is just very sweet. It's just sitting there going like, hey, I'm an Instagram picture. And that's it.
It's wonderful because it's a cat.
Movie fucking ends and there's like 10 people that worked on this movie as those credits just roll and it's done.
Yeah.
So fuck this movie. I do not recommend it. Do not at all.
watch it. It's fun.
I thought it was okay.
No.
I like movies that end where they're going to have a sequel, but then never have a sequel.
Like the Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
Okay.
The end, question mark?
Now here's where I'm getting at. I have a few complaints about this movie.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's go.
One, when you make a movie like this, it's okay to have characters make dumb decisions. In fact, most people, when they write screenplays, the one thing they do wrong is they don't have characters make mistakes, because they always make a character an extension of themselves, and they believe, oh, well, I wouldn't do that, so
Right.
why would I write that? No, you want your characters to be flawed and make mistakes. However, don't set up that you have a bunch of smart people who aren't going to make dumb decisions. Make dumb decisions.
They've kind of cast this incorrectly. You need to
Yes.
make your protagonists the college students.
Yes, make
The
them...
people who don't know the definition of a pheromone are the people who need to...
Or the townies.
Yeah,
you
kill
know?
the professors first.
Yeah.
And let the idiots fend for themselves.
It should have. I think that this, if you're going to go with the pheromone idea, they should have been doing an experiment like they did with that dog, and that's patient zero of the dogs. That dog gets out, starts infecting other
We'll
dogs,
get
like a
into
zombie
how
movie.
to fix it.
Sure.
Jesus,
That'll be
you
my
have
next
more
thing.
notes
Oh,
on
I
how
got
to
a ton.
fix this movie.
Are you
Yeah, I
kidding
do.
me? We're
I
only
do.
a third of the way into this podcast. He's going to spend the rest of the time making this movie work.
The movie never once tries to make the dog seem like a real threat. They never do. They
No.
don't sneak up. They don't do anything to create tension. They simply appear and attack, which is not scary.
No.
Jaws always was there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd hear the music. You'd see the fin. You know he's around, and you get the tension. In this movie, it's like, dog. And that's
Dog
it.
dead. Dog dead. Dog
Like
dead.
all of a sudden they appear upstairs, they appear there, they appear there. Like nothing happens. They just have random appearances, okay? Then we spend, okay, here's the other one. We spend at least 10 minutes of the film discussing the pheromone plot and the government stuff. Cut it out. It doesn't fucking serve a purpose.
If it's not going to apply to the actual film, like, we don't need to deal with it.
And then the last thing I say that's the problem with this movie, I couldn't care less about any of these characters. None of them are likable. They're all terrible. They're all boring.
And a
they're
lot
all
of movies
stupid.
do this, and I don't understand that. Why you make your lead protagonist an insufferable prick.
We have to be able to relate
with
to
no
him
redeeming
somehow.
qualities, nothing that you can relate to. Just why?
What was that movie we covered that had that same problem where Unholy Rollers, where he did not give a
just
shit.
a jerk. The whole
She's an
movie.
asshole.
Yeah.
And you can't. Why do you care what happens to her?
That's the biggest problem with Showgirls is that,
Yeah.
like, why would you give a fuck if Nomi wins or loses? She's a total jerk.
Yeah. Everyone here sucks.
Yeah, in this movie, you're just like, this guy I'm following around for the whole movie just acts like he's better than everybody else. I don't like him.
I just hope Louise Koppelman turned out okay. I liked her.
So 2 ways to fix this movie, okay? 1, if our protagonist is going to be Jean Jacket, right, and he's a bitter professor, let's just have him have a backstory, okay? Like, now, it doesn't have to be this, but I'm just saying, what if he had some sort of trauma in his past? Like, for example, Chief Brody, right, in Jaws, is afraid of the water. Okay? So when his only option to solve a situation which has personally affected his family, his job, everything about it requires him to go in that water, he can't avoid his fear anymore. He must face it. Okay? So I just wrote as a dumb example, like something just literally off the top of my head. What if he had like an ex-wife or somebody that was attacked by an animal?
I was
Or
going to say
just something like that.
A daughter that was eaten by a dog.
Or some trauma in his past that has made him afraid of animals, like afraid of dogs in particular.
Like
and
he was
must face
at a
that.
dog show, and one started to bark at him. And that's just how it went down, man.
Just something, right? It doesn't even have to be that, but just something that he has to overcome.
Give him scars on his face.
He literally
a paw
has.
slash like the 3.
You could say he was a child and attacked by a dog as a kid. Like
That
a Rottweiler
there are
bit
lots
him.
and lots of people in this world
Yes,
that were
and
attacked
he's-
by dogs as a young child and have a phobia now.
They're deathly afraid of dogs. Just do that. And then I say, maybe he has a trauma that caused him to drink, which is the other thing of, okay, now we have both a mental and a physical barrier that he needs to pass, right? He's got to overcome his physical fear of those dogs and his mental problem with that drinking. And that part when he goes for the drink, he says no, and he arcs as a character. He overcomes his fears and he changes as a person, because we literally start with the same character and end with it. He does not change at all.
That's true.
He does get the girl back.
Yeah, just by being himself.
He never lost her, because within the first scene, they were already back together.
They're already working on it.
There was no
She had
no
already
tension.
decided that she wanted to make things work with him.
The other one is the dogs, they don't need an explanation for the attack. We maybe could have a sinister subplot where like maybe the governor and other government officials know about something with that sound that drives the dogs crazy, and they're doing an experiment or something like that, and they're well aware of what it does, and it's all some big thing like In the Mist, for example, when they come in and they're all getting rid of it because it was all just some big government conspiracy thing. Sure, do that. But what you've done is you just constantly set up reasons why it happens, and at the end of the movie tell us, oh yeah, forget all that shit that we spent all the movie teaching you.
And honestly, it's so much more, to your point, it's so much more effective if you don't waste so much time trying to come up with a stupid explanation. Walking Dead is crazy popular. They never once explain why the dead are coming back. Why does Michael Myers keep coming back? Who cares? He's just evil.
You don't need it.
That's all they ever had to say. Dr. Loomis said, I looked at the boy's eyes, he's fucked up. And that's that. And
just fucking have killer dogs. That's all you need.
Well,
and have a character that needs to overcome it.
So what movie would you suggest does a better killer
Jaws.
dog? Does a better killer dog movie?
But speaking specifically to killer dog films,
yeah.
There's been quite a few. The Pack's a very popular one. Let's see, Cujo works pretty well.
Yeah, because if you're gonna give like this one, obviously you don't want anybody to watch this one. Give something that you would of this weird subgenre I found that I just fucking stumbled upon.
I haven't watched enough of them.
I feel like killer dog movies are better when there are less dogs. If you just if you focus on like one or two and you make those scary, you can do that because you have more time to make this dog do more stuff. In this movie, it's just like we spoke earlier. There's a bunch of dogs sitting around, and we're supposed to be like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, because in this movie, the hyenas from The Lion King are scarier than these dogs.
Yeah, they're not scary at all.
Because you got a fucking poodle and a terrier sitting there, and they're wagging their tails, and that's not.
And they just show up.
Yeah. Whereas you look at a movie like Madhouse or The Omen. There's one dog sitting there, and it is a frightening image of one. You know? And then you just have that dog wreck shop on a couple people, and you've established what this dog can do, and now this dog's going to be scary the second it walks in the room.
So that's all I got to say. I just had a little bit of, if you don't want me to go into that later, listeners, that's fine. But for this movie in particular, it was really bugging me. And I'm like, now for now on, I'm just going to add notes on how you fix something like this. Because it's very difficult to make a movie. It's very difficult to write a screenplay and get everything done.
Absolutely.
But when you can look at it now, you can see the problems. And it's glaring. This movie, I said to you earlier today, I could teach an entire semester on how not to make a movie and make people watch this movie all semester to show them every single beat in this movie is wrong. Every single thing is wrong. And it bugged me to no end as being somebody who has studied film my entire life to look at this movie and be like, this was made, released in the theaters, and is literally everything wrong. Like every single thing in this movie is wrong.
Mike, tentacles.
This is tentacles. I mean, this is fucking tentacles to me. It's the same type of shit.
I thought this was an easier watch than Tentacles.
To me, it's the same movie. Like, it's literally the same movie. It has the same problems. I mean, in that movie, you have John Huston running around. Who knows what the fuck he's doing? He has no reason to solve the problem he's solving. And then it ends in a fucking boat race. At least it had a good soundtrack.
Yeah, you can't beat that Cipriani.
And that hat.
That hat was something. This movie needed a bigger hat.
Oh, this movie needed Shelley Winters.
When they cut to Howard eating the sweet rolls, he should have been wearing a comically oversized hat while he was singing and just eating.
I would much rather have heard Shelley Winters talking about an 8-year-old's pissing habits than watch this movie again. So you hear that sound?
I do.
I got nothing this week, so have fun.
Well, I think that we don't see every member of the college class here and all that bullshit in biology, and I think that one redheaded student in the back of the room was paying especially close attention to the idea that pheromones can create a hive mind.
Did you think he had his shirt off?
He may have. And so, if we can somehow use pheromones to get everyone on the same page, they're going to come to us, DeVito.
Oh, they're going to come.
Oh, they are.
Whoa.
They are. And so I think at some point we do see the straight arrow with a crudely made dog catcher sign hanging on the side of it, trying to break into that lab and get these pheromones that they were hearing about. Because if it can make the ants all work together, it can make the ladies all work together.
Fuse?
I got nothing. Go ahead.
You can't have nothing.
I can have nothing.
Well, you know how there's that mysterious sound that...
Oh, the howl.
What if all of a sudden it was...
That would create more panic than the howl.
Yeah. All of a sudden all the women start running and the men are like, where are they going? What?
They're running out to the dogs.
I'd rather take my chances.
Where it's safer.
Or you just see like maybe when all those students were sitting in that common room, they're like, we got to get out of here because of those two. And you just pan over to see Bobby and DeVito with their shirts off going to every girl in the room. Just
Hey,
going like,
you know, this might be our last night here.
you like stunts? That's what Bobby says to the dog. Hey, you like stunts?
You know, I learned a couple things from these dogs.
So Hughes, you're leaving us with no.
Yeah, I'm good this week.
Hughes, what about how would Bronson deal with this situation?
He'd be fine because there's only white people.
Also, he's got a gun. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hey, people had
you
guns.
need a character like Bronson come and go, oh, I'll take you that dog. Right
What exactly are these dogs doing?
Oh, just shoot him. Never met a dog that survived a bullet, and then he just going around to every child's house shooting it dead.
Let me understand. Your family got raped by a dog? No, Mr. Bronson, we didn't say that. Well, then I don't know why you're talking to me.
How do you think Dolomite would deal with it?
Now that I want to see.
Yeah.
Dolomite fending off a pack of dogs.
While he raps to them.
Can you imagine a Dolomite horror movie where like Dolomite gets stuck with some sort of killer animal or like serial killer, like a Jason, like Dolomite Friday the 13th?
Oh, we needed that.
Friday the 13th, like Dolomite the 13th.
Like Jason only got close enough to get to Manhattan. He had to go a little further into New York.
And Dolomite's just hitting them with a Type 5.
Lifting up his mask. He's going to start talking about that.
Thanks again for joining us on another episode of the Grindbin. You can find us grindhousefilm.com, Twitter, we're at GrindPod. We're on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere else. Hughes, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Bobby?
No further questions, Your Honor. Bobby, get the pheromones.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky ain't got no field coach.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl a little hot and horny.
You could have been decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy.